What's up, everybody? It is Saturday night. At my house, the sun's down. Somebody on the panel, it may not be, but that's okay. It is 7 o'clock where I'm at, 10 o'clock where other people are at, middle of the afternoon where somebody else is. But it's after dark. This is our Takeover show. We have usually somebody who comes on and kind of leads us through our shit. Apparently, this week we're welcoming, as you can see, the powder cake himself, Paul Preston. Paul, what's going on?
Please remain seated. Thank you. Oh, so I take over right away?
Right away. You got to jump from jump. No.
You don't even introduce everybody else? All right.
No, but honestly, from us,
this is anybody else. It's my show.
That's right.
Assholes. And
Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah, we should do a round of everybody.
Oh, okay. It's Alan's show. It's fine.
It happens.
So, okay, I'm Matty G, obviously. Paul, you know me and my kid, Caleb.
Yeah, how's he doing?
Good. He's bored as hell.
Aren't we all?
He's been home since almost a month and a half ago, and now he's going stir crazy.
Yes, I'm there.
Because this is the way.
This is the way. I mean,
and a little running gag here. If you see, this is the way that comes across them. The Mandalorians are required to put their helmets on.
And in case you were wondering, yes, these masks do protect against the coronavirus. So there you go.
I'm going to say this is the way every 4 minutes. Basically, you take those helmets off. I'm going to say this is the way. That's how this is going to go. Hope you're ready.
Oh, and this is definitely the way we've been expecting this stream to go. The man to my right in the middle is Matt. He's a Colts fan. We forgive him for that. Matt, what's up tonight?
Nothing much. You want me to talk crap about the Titans in their last 10, 15 years?
I would like that. I would like that.
I will talk crap about the Titans. How many times did the Titans beat the Colts in the last 10 years, Matt?
Yeah, but
they
right now
won one game. No, they have not. But I'm doing all right. Other than that, I mean, I've been missing sports so much with basketball, baseball, even football because of XFL or what it once was. I've decided to turn on Madden and just have the computers play against each other and watch full games because I haven't had sports in a while.
They're doing that with NASCAR.
But, I mean, if I want to watch people drive around for 2 hours, I can just go outside and watch the neighbors drive around.
Yeah, but it's been some of the best racing that we've had. So, I mean, I've been enjoying it.
This is the way.
I might check it out.
The way.
Is the way. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is back in the 8 car. It's completely digital. So
That's completely digital. And it ain't gonna stop him. Ain't gonna stop him to talk about the cars.
So Mandalorians, while you were there, this is the way. Your master, Paul has told you that you might as well get used to those helmets.
Yes,
but
yeah, I gotta
tonight,
get Kyle a sound clip. He points a lot. I know.
Oh God! All right, and then the man to the bottom is the spaceman. Mahalo and aloha, sir.
Yeah, aloha to everyone. Paul, super excited that you're here. Just the other day, me and the kids rewatched the Tom and Paul, which I think the name needs to be officially Paul and Tom. I don't know which one it is, but we just rewatched the match.
Alphabetical, that's all.
Alphabetical, there we go. It makes sense. Makes the most sense. Yeah. Sounds better. Looks better on a t-shirt. But just super excited to have you here, man. Super excited to be here.
Yeah, that match. I tell you, I feel like I knew every question that was asked to me. I knew every question that was asked to Tom. I knew every question that was asked to 13, except for round 2, the never been kissed question. And I lost. It's the game, it's the game that beats me, and I gotta get better at the game because I don't have a great record. People seem to like me, but it's like I don't win a lot.
But you're so
have like
the first.
32 points. That's a great showing. Yeah, but it's lost. Well, you did 32 again against Deep 13, but we lost again. Like, it's making me crazy after a while. But yeah, it's never not fun.
Especially with your first rounds, man. You always dominate first rounds, which is so incredible. It's just, wow, what is going on here? Yeah, I think it's that game. You need to, take a note from Bateman because he's the master of just the game aspect of it.
He only beat me in the tournament on a challenge, So
yeah, exactly.
It's the wheel, it's the categories, it's all that kind of stuff. It's like, after a while, I just want to.
Well, there you go. That's what he'll do next time during round 2. He'll just shoot the competition, and they win by default.
There you go. Take them out.
Yeah. And that means Tom will have his dead bodies.
Right. That's really why he's here. But we're not done. He and I mean, that's clearly we've got the skills to dominate. We'll get out there and do it eventually. We'll gel. I'll get the game down, and then it'll be time them up.
I don't know if we see anything at the free for all like the how many people was it? I don't remember, but the Star Wars one you guys did has been played multiple times in my house.
Okay. Well, Adam Witt and I were not gonna have some stupid virus take away our free for all. So if you don't know, go check it out on YouTube. We created an 80-minute free for all 3.5 with Star Wars figures, and we wrote like 200 jokes to literally every question was a dumb joke. It wasn't real trivia, but all the Star Wars figures played against each other until it was whittled down to one winner. And there's even arguments about that because I thought somebody stayed in longer than someone else to earn MVP, but I guess it was the same amount of time because halfway through production we cut back the number of rounds we were going to have, and I thought that trimmed one of the players, but it didn't. So now, do we have a playoff between Bespin Leia and 4 LOM? I don't.
Definitely. Is that even a question?
Well, it does. And this will help out Matt. We are missing sports too. So Adam and I are working on something right now. We're going to lay down. We're missing sports and we're missing movies. Right. So we're creating a audio track, play-by-play commentary as 2 sports announcers for Star Wars. So we're going to treat Star Wars as if it's a 2-hour sport, except we're going to stand there, we're going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming to a galaxy far, far away. And we're going to do the whole film. So we're writing. We ambitious ourselves, into the grave with our. We're exhausted. We're writing another 200 jokes to squeeze into this thing, and so it'll be a play along audio track, and it'll be pretty fun. So we're bringing a little sports back. We're bringing a little movies back at the same time.
Excellent.
Because as soon as the coronavirus postponed Top Gun Maverick, that's when we knew it went too far.
Yeah.
I would not forget COVID-19 for that.
That's it.
So Garth says you need to ask Video Drew to remove the curse from you for stealing her Tom.
I know. I'm Jock Tom now, apparently.
Hey, you know what? Every Tom needs a jock.
If we don't win again, I will believe the curse, and then I may have to do whatever it takes. Video Drew's weird. What are you going to do? Is it a voodoo doll? I don't know. We'll fight whatever.
Oh God! Yeah, Garth coming in with another quick quote. Oh my! He gets into the exhaust port. How did he do that?
Down goes Ben. Down goes Ben.
Oh God!
You're gonna have all your favorites there.
Nice.
I could just imagine what that's gonna be like. I've done something like that. It's stupid at home with the kid recently. We watched Cars, the original Cars, and I muted it and did something similar to that. And Cars was funny, but I think Star Wars could just. ruined my childhood.
Look,
I
I
like
mean,
Star Wars.
it's not as sad as watching computers playing against each other Madden, okay? Like I do.
No, that's
Yeah.
sad.
They're
But
all lonely in the dark, just like.
And just watching. Like I watched a
fall
great,
asleep to
I
that.
watched a
Like,
great game
Pokemon
between the
Red
Dolphins
Fall
and the
asleep.
Bills. I mean,
They moved the chains moved down the field. Now it's Denver's ball. Denver hands it off, and they're stopped at the line by defense. Oh, it's a fumble. I mean, are you doing that, or is it how sad?
pretty much. I mean, that was pretty
Hey,
much. I sat in there. People were
film
wondering, what are
that.
you doing? Yeah,
Film that and release it, and that could be a very Lynchian kind of thing.
I should release it online. Just find the schedule for this upcoming season,
Gar-
edit it all out, and put it out. Be like, hey, we're not gonna have football this year, so here's this.
There's an answer to that question.
Consider that stolen, my friend. That's a good line.
Garth got a writing credit. Garth got a writing credit on there. Nice.
So Garth McMurray just asked who shot first on
Yep.
Greedo. I would say
shot
personally
first.
the answer to that question is that no one shot first. Only Han shot. Greedo never shot.
You never shot.
Han shot.
Han shot.
Period.
Hey, it's all McClunky now anyway.
That's the new
It is
answer.
all
Yeah.
funny.
That's
What
right.
did you think?
Well, I mean, guys, the Addams brothers were supposed to join us, but apparently not. They never decided to. But that's okay because we got actually a drafted person. Oh, shots fired.
Ooh, damn.
But wait, what's their podcast? The Cinefanatics? Those guys?
Yes, that's that's Robert.
Yeah,
Addams.
Good people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. But Garth is coming in with just
He just not stop. Garth is not stop tonight.
I would have done the same
Absolutely
thing.
one of the best fans there is. This guy's
Oh, yeah.
active, and and it's not
Oh,
the kind of active where you're like, all right, Garth, enough. It's like, oh, Garth, killing it. Good job, man.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
I thought it was McNeely.
Every time.
and yes,
And Robert.
ouch, yes. I invited him, but I mean, what are they doing besides sitting at home?
Maybe next time.
Maybe next
No.
time.
No, we've got it. We keep going up the ladder, guys. Come on.
We're
Yeah.
climbing.
I mean, yes. This is spoilers for later. We will announce who is coming on next week later, because
last
nobody
night.
who we did, but people suck.
You
Grand
wanted
total of what, like 1 or 2 people watching yesterday?
We're over 30 views already, so it must be
Oh,
something,
man.
right?
There you go.
to know 30 people.
I do.
I didn't know that we were doing it until 30 minutes before. So that makes
Yeah,
sense.
pretty much.
Me neither.
Yeah, last
Slow
last
build
night.
it's always a slow build of watchers as the show goes on. I mean, this is the way.
Mm.
Oh, they're slept on. There we go. There we go.
I will raise you a Kylo Ren soundbite.
I'll show you the dark side.
Hey, Paul, I got you. I got you. I got you.
I don't have a mask or anything. All I have is my little monkey.
I didn't even see this in the corner at first.
Here, let's
you got?
unwrap his remote.
Now, who could do the-
or it knocks
Who can do the better voice?
camper down.
What you did with Matt.
Like,
Just have
That
him-
was the better voice. You win, sir.
that's great. Anybody
You win.
have a coronavirus hair, a quarantine hair already? I could use a cut.
No,
I
I
just-
got mine cut off.
I'm not going beard, but I'm probably.
Well, the more important question is, did anybody put deodorant on before the live stream? That's important.
I actually did.
Yes, question
Devin
mark?
doesn't even have a sense of smell, so I don't know why I did.
Yeah.
I just thought that after I did that, and it's like, you can't even smell, so why did I do this?
Look, if I don't put deodorant on, you guys would smell it, even from wherever you guys are at right now. Los
Wow.
Angeles,
Your,
Arizona,
your
Hawaii,
voice
space.
is sadder and sadder the more you describe it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
just like
Pretty
me
much.
watching my Madden games.
Hey, is that a revenge
Oh.
Jedi poster?
Hmm?
Is that a Revenge of the Jedi poster?
Yes, it is.
Mm.
Points.
See if I can. Yeah.
Oh,
Up there.
boy.
Very
They
nice.
did print posters for
Oh, yeah.
Revenge of the Jedi. That was the first trailer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
And then they
not
switched
the
it to Revenge of the
27 by
Sith,
40 though. It's the one I got at
Episode
Walmart
3.
for a couple bucks.
So, Paul, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? Just since we're on the topic,
Oh, so we're going Star Wars.
1977, Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah, I
Uh,
bounce back and forth. For me, it's Return of the Jedi.
Hey, do you go with Mark Ellis's take on that? That it's the win? Why wouldn't it be your
Yeah,
favorite? What you
it's the
waited
win.
for movies for?
Everybody
That's right.
together at the end. It's Lando clapping. Like it's a happy ending. I love it.
I
But is it really now?
I certainly enjoyed the fruit of watching Luke in Jedi after. I mean, watching Star Wars as Adam and I are doing for this project. You know, and you see him going, "Oh, you know, gee whiz," and all this. But by Jedi, he's a stud, man. I mean, he
Man.
plays that arc well, and when you watch him in close proximity, you see how impressive his performance is. You know, like novice, and then trying but failing, and not quite there by the third one. It's just so cool
Yeah.
to watch him. You know, it's
What do
all-
you like about Star Wars? Like the first one.
What's that?
What do you like about the first Star Wars, the
Well,
original?
came out of the 70s cinema. Like his contemporaries were Scorsese and Coppola and De Palma, Spielberg. And, you know, so that movie had shades of David Lean. It took its time. It wasn't appealing to any base. It was, I mean, Empire didn't either. Empire was certainly super risky for the biggest movie of all time's sequel. But no, and beginning, middle, and end, you know, Empire doesn't have that. Empire is a masterpiece, but
Yeah.
beginning, middle, end, introduction of Han Solo, one of my favorite characters in the history of cinema. Yeah, and I just like that the time it takes, and I like the elements of, again, 60s and 70s cinema that are in that movie that you just don't see in the current films. I'm not quite as enamored with the latest stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to go with the original. Plus, you know, I'm a product of timing. That movie, you know, is my childhood, and many people say that, and they're right. It was, I mean, watching it again with Adam, I'm just like, the choices Lucas made. I mean, what a rock star! He took huge risks. There's like 20 minutes where nothing but droids and Jawas were talking. Adam always points out to me when we're watching it. It's like, who would do that? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy that he took that risk, and everybody, and it just was a home run. It was a grand slam. Yeah. So I
My
always
first exposure to that was I had like a VCR recording of Star Wars, and the first 20 minutes with the droids were cut off. So when I got the special edition VHS and put it in, I'm like, where's Luke? Like, where's all the stuff? This is kind of slow right here. But then it picks up. You get the trench run, you get the gun turrets, you get Obi-Wan. I love Star Wars. There's not a single Star Wars movie that I don't like. But like, yeah, my top three are the threes in everyone: Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, and then Rise of Skywalker. So people kind of nag on me for that, but I like resolution, you know?
Right. Yeah, and I mean, if you know the 97 or 97, you know, 77 Star Wars wasn't as good as it was, who knows what, you know, movies would be like today. Nolan wouldn't be directing. Well, he probably would, but maybe later on, because he said Star Wars is what got him into movies. You know, I'm sure something would have came out that, you know, would be, you know, as inspiring as, you know, Star Wars to, you know, current filmmakers. But just, if it wasn't as good as it was, I mean, the landscape of movies would be so different.
totally.
I mean, we probably have more movies like The Godfather and whatnot, and less, you know, adventure movies even.
Well, and it definitely put fantasy movies on the map.
Yeah.
It made fantasy movies more mainstream, because if you look at the 60s and 70s fantasy movies, they were kind of B-rated. They weren't real popular. But then Star Wars came out, and everybody, like my grandmother tells me that she was just getting out of the military when it came out, and just everybody was seeing it. So
Right.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, there's so much to bounce off what you said there, Matt. I mean, yeah, it changed the industry. J.J. Abrams gave a great TED talk. I don't know if you ever saw the one about the magic box.
Mm-hmm.
Mystery box.
That best part of that talk is when he talks about
Yeah.
Jaws, and he shows that clip from Jaws where Brody's had the worst day at the beach possible. People are scared, people are dying, and he's just sitting at his dinner table doing this. He looks down, his son does this. He does the little mirror game with his son, and it's just like it's a meaningful moment for him after this horrible day. And Abrams says that's what people need to steal from Jaws. Unfortunately, what they stole was killer shark. All right, let's make killer bees, killer alligator, killer this, killer that, and it's like same with Star Wars, like. What was great about Star Wars? Well, who cares? We got all these special effects now. We can do this special effects, this bad special effects, this bad special. No, the best parts of Star Wars are, Luke and Obi-Wan's relationship. Han Solo's wisecracking lines that don't derail the movie; they enhance it.
They enhance the film. Yeah,
in there that people unfortunately copied the wrong stuff. Like, hey, we could have a movie that's $200 million now. My friend Mike Nichols, who's an editor, Mike J. Nichols, is an editor here in LA. Talk about movies all the time. He edited Echo in the Canyon. If you've seen it on Plug for him, it's a great movie.
It's a good movie.
He said the best Star Wars movie you'll see is when they make one for $40 million. And I kind of agree with him because they'll just put all the stuff aside that they could do and focus on what they should do.
It's pretty much The Mandalorian.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you can see the budget in the series, like it shows, but it's a great series.
Yeah,
right. And I mean, action and movies are cool. Big explosions. Yeah, it's cool to see, but the characters is what makes the movie as good as it is. Yeah, that should be the first priority. Don't put
why I love
CGI and then the characters.
Yeah, and you guys are Jedi. I mean,
right.
Vader's redemption is like one of the greatest things in the history of cinema.
Oh,
yeah. It can even happen when you're watching Star Wars and he's so evil.
And there's like that mini movie at the beginning, Escape from Jabba's Palace. But like that could be like one little like TV hour on its own.
Right.
Yeah. This is the way.
He said
it. Guys got to have it right there.
He's going to pull out a stick and point.
Are they really looking
at the camera?
Right.
They're looking for the helmets. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? To stay on this Star Wars thing a little bit. Sorry, Matt. Which is why the prequels really disappointed me as much as they did. Because you lost that.
Apologize.
Because you lost that element of the storytelling and the character development. The great thing about the original Star Wars is you relate to these droids, something that was far beyond anything you could imagine, and you're humanizing them, giving them characteristics that we all relate to. And there was nothing in the prequels that I could even relate to a little bit. There was no time taking with any of the moments between the characters at all. It was just rush, go, which was, I was surprised a little bit at the same filmmaker, but then not, because with the original Star Wars, you've got all these elements working together, and it's the most amazing, costume designs and sound designs and model makers, all these people working together. And with the prequels, you got a lot of people going, yes, George, yes, George, yes, George. And I think that's what was the big downfall of those films.
It's, you guys like this, right? You like him, right? You like him?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And so that was, both those ways are not a way to make a movie. But you should get Adam Witt on here, because Adam will get the back of every choice in every Star Wars movie, top to bottom, beginning to end. The whole few hours, he loves on it hugely. We got him compete recently too.
Yeah.
Finally, he's nuts about it.
Right. I just wish Ron Howard would have said yes to directing Episode 1, because the prequels probably would have been better, because George wasn't going to direct it. And then Ron Howard had to say, we want you to direct it, George. You should be the one to do it. And then we got Episode 1, 2. But I did like Episode 3, though. I thought, the character interactions, it was much better, especially with Anakin, Obi-Wan. Just the opening sequence, whatnot. You kind of get that feeling of, these guys worked together for a while. They've been together. Like it was a little more believable. It could have been written better, but it worked better than that. And then you could have developed the relationship between Palpatine and Anakin a little better. That way, the transition of him becoming Vader was, a little better.
Well, you can't fault them going with George, though, because you look at the original Star Wars, that's a great movie. But something happened along the way, which we don't know what it was, where for me got a little off.
Right. Yeah, I don't blame them for saying no, you should direct it because, like I said, because of the first one, just how good it was. It's just he, just got too caught up, I think, with the visuals.
Yeah. And too much trade federation wars and
yeah. So I got a little too
the prequels would be better if Keira Knightley had played Padme. Because Keira Knightley does better in worse movies. So like Keira Knightley doesn't like bow out if the movie's bad. Like she works even if the script is terrible. Like Pirates of the Caribbean 5 or whatever it was, the subtitle was. Keira Knightley's in that movie for 3 minutes, and she's the best part of the movie.
No, I agree with that because Natalie Portman, great actress, but when it comes to the blockbusters,
I don't know if we can say anything about Pirates of the Caribbean 5.
I mean, besides 4.
All right, well, I'm taking over the show. Here we go.
All right, go ahead.
I ask this of every guest who comes on the Movie Guys podcast, whether it's the movie Showcast, which was a comedy show we did for like 200 episodes, or the current interview show, which I've done for 25 or 30. I ask the guests' favorite movie of all time. So, Maddie G, you are first. What is your favorite movie of all time? And share with us the struggle if you're having one, because that's interesting too.
Okay. I have a favorite movie.
The answer is usually,
Actually, no. I debate between 3. One is Rocky. One is Rocky, the original Rocky. One everybody busts my balls for it is Grease. And then the third one, because of the experience, is the original is Avatar. Now, the reason I struggle with the first 2 is because it's a nostalgia thing. My mother showed me Grease at a very young age, and that was a bonding moment. So that and the Rocky franchise, my family growing up, we would watch 1 through 5 in a weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
and then the experience of Avatar with my ex-wife and my son.
I'll say 3 things about that. First of all, you share Rocky with the great Mick Foley, who was on our show, and also said that's his favorite movie. So you got that with Mick, which is cool.
Nice.
And Avatar, I've always said that people have film festivals all the time. I say someone needs to do an IMAX 3D festival. I mean, you could fill a week with movies that were meant for that we just don't see like that anymore. I remember the first time I walked through an electronics store and I saw Avatar in like 4K or something on a TV screen, and it just looked awful. It needs to be a big screen with that sort of sheen over it that makes it look like a film. So it's not so crisp and clear, and the effects aren't as called out by the technology. Right. And I'd love to see, then you could get Ant-Man back in the big screen in the IMAX 3D again, and you could get all manner of.
Civil War is where I noticed it the most, because I watched Civil War in theaters, and it's like, whoa, this looks incredible. And then I'm watching it on TV at home. It's like, why is Iron Man's head floating?
Ouch. Yeah, I love that movie. I better not watch it here at all.
Great movie.
And then the third one was
Grease.
Grease. Can't fault the music in that movie. The music in that movie is stellar, in that show in general. It's just stellar music, So if you're, whatever you think of the movie, I think it's funny and has great music. So outstanding choices all. Again, there's no wrong choice. I just wanted to comment on yours. That's good. Cool. That too.
And then for me, it's not 3, but it's 2 movies that it always switches, depending on when I watch it. One day I'll watch The Shawshank Redemption, and that's my favorite. And then, like yesterday, I watched Empire Strikes Back, and now that's my favorite. It's always between one of those 2. I think they're perfect movies. I mean, I can't really find anything as far as flaws go with those movies. The Casablanca is good too.
Never seen
much. It's good.
Do you know who Glenn Morshower is? Actor?
Not on the top of my head, but if I saw him, I would probably know him.
Yeah, he's in 24. He played Aaron Pierce.
Yeah.
And Pierce, yeah.
Okay.
I like him a lot. He's in Transformers, the 3 Transformers movies.
Okay.
Even though he died
Yeah.
in the first
Yeah. And he's in the ride too. He's in the Q line of
Yeah.
the ride at Universal. His favorite movie is Shawshank. So there you go.
He was Aaron on 24. He was General Lane on Supergirl. He's all over the place. I love that guy.
200 credits. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Great guest
Oh
star.
no, he's got a lot.
And funny as hell, and he's a motivational speaker. Who knew?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd motivate me.
But he loves Shawshank and right.
Not in a weird way.
Was there any film that got a tepid theater response that deserved a larger life on home viewing? It's that, you know.
Oh yeah.
And he said it in his
Absolutely.
show. He said it just bad timing. Came out same year as Forrest Gump.
Yep.
So rah filmmaking, rah US, rah Tom Hanks. It was like tough to beat, you know. And
I
it's
still
great.
think Shawshank's better.
Forrest Gump is great, but Shawshank, and I think even more so, Pulp Fiction. It was just a tough year. You know?
Ooh.
Oh yeah. That was a really good year for movies in general. So if any of those movies came out, you know, any other year, especially in the 90s, I think all 3 of them would have won Best Picture.
Yeah.
You know.
Nikki and Devin?
Devin, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first.
You talk first. I talk first. So I'll go first. I kind of hinted towards it earlier. Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie. It always goes back between that and just kind of the last year, that and Endgame. Like I said, I love Resolution. So like those movies are just like the end of like we're here, we did it, and so it always goes between those 2 movies. I'm thinking about. I never saw Return of the Jedi like in theaters for the first time like that. Endgame is just every time I watch that movie, I just think of like the theater experience that I had that night, and it just like takes me back to that. Like you were there, we were going crazy during that last battle. So it's one of those things where that kind of affects it. But either way, it's a 3-hour movie, and you get Resolution, you get the ending for Captain America, you get ending for Iron Man, even though obviously they're all coming back at some point. But it's like Return of the Jedi in the way that even no matter what happens next, we had the happy ending.
Devin and Alan, you're going to have to wait because now we've been on a Star Wars hole. I can't let you go by without a large conversation. All right, the MCU is the most incredible cinematic achievement in my lifetime. It's unbelievably good. It's just superhero nonsense. You're avoiding all of the themes, or perhaps the movies, and just talking smack, you know, without really seeing them. And that Endgame, man, I tell you. Okay, so I think we all came out of Infinity War and said, "Oh, they get the time stone, they go back, they fix everything." So what do they do in the beginning of Endgame? They destroy all the stones. On these writers. And then they have to go and write themselves out of it with the time heist, which is the craziest idea ever. I mean, that franchise impressed every single movie, from directing choices, to Kevin Feige's overall supervision of the entire vision is just bravo, in the hugest way perhaps in my life.
Yeah,
it might be the franchise ever. More than
it has the character moments that you want too.
Say again?
Yeah,
it has all the character moments that you want. Like you have these moments between Captain America and Iron Man. The score is incredible. Like the way that the first Avengers score is laced through it. They have scores from like all the different movies. Everything about it rolled in this 3-hour package. It's great.
Yeah. And a series that kept stating and upping. I never thought I'd see that on the screen. The one thing in Endgame, everything was beautiful, but the moment that really blew my mind was the first time they're all flowing down the time tunnels. And I said, this is a Jack Kirby comic book page come to life. It's insane how they got everything right. It was just amazing. Yeah.
And they're still finding those homages 21 movies later.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
And the Alan Silvestri score, I always lament that there are a few themes left in movies today. I mean, I couldn't the score to half the stuff that's out there, action movie wise, but that Silvestri one, I mean, it's just awesome. You know?
Yeah,
and,
perfect.
And his little theme, his little suite that plays as the camera pans across the funeral crowd at the end. Finest hour, and it's right at the very end.
Yeah.
That's good.
I love. What franchise gets better as you add characters?
Right. Yeah.
And not convoluted.
Captain Marvel shows up, headbutts Thanos, and just like nothing. But it's incredible. But you still let Iron Man save the day. So they know what they're doing at Marvel. And you can think about like what could have been with some things if you want. But that movie, just taking it as it is, I can't get any better than that. You get the ending you always wanted for Captain America. You get Iron Man, like, spoiler, making ultimate sacrifice to save the entire universe.
Sorry. Sorry. I was bringing up something. Did you guys see the when I go to a screen, I don't go off camera, do I? I was jumping over.
No.
No, you're good.
At the bottom, there says share screen. If you do that and click audio, I can bring it up here so everybody can see what you're doing.
And I can also share anything on request if you need it too.
Have you seen the video of the crowd response audio laced over the Cap getting the Mjolnir?
Yes.
Good Mjolnir, yeah.
Yes.
It's a minute if you want to show your crowd at home because it's absolutely
it's awesome,
glorious.
It
Go
is.
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
And that's a moment I wasn't even sure about the first time I saw it. I was like, ooh, is that a little bit much? And then the first Avenger score just kicks in and he's like swinging it. And I'm just like, no, he knows how to use that thing.
Let me go back.
They're going nuts.
Go ahead. Can you share it or am I doing it wrong?
No, perfect.
It's fun to just
there we go.
Technology out during the course of the show. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, now it's a wormhole.
It's like,
That's wormhole.
Like Ray with the lightsaber, you know?
There we go.
Moving. Where's it going? Back. We got to do a watch along with this stuff. Bring the lightning. He's gonna bring the lightning.
Somebody was paying attention.
Again, I'll refer you to Adam. I love it.
Yeah, you just did. That's my favorite movie.
Oh, we lost him.
Well, thank
He
you.
Mjolnired himself right out of there.
Evan, you had. We'll wait till he gets back, and then you can tell him your favorite.
You know, Endgame was.
Don't worry about
I
it.
can fix everything. I will close that stream out one back in, and then reconnect everybody. Hold on. Why is he not letting me?
And that's the last time I blow
There
it
we
down.
go.
There we go.
I'm sorry, what? Adam, again, he's my partner in crime and all that stuff, summed that up well. He said, all those sounds you hear from the crowd, that's what we all hear in our heads as Marvel fans when we watch these scenes. I thought he put that well, because that's certainly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
The setup for the Avengers Assemble, you know, they teased it within the Age of Ultron, but when he said it, the whole theater, collective intake of breath and waited for it. And then when he said it, just it's igniting, you know, all these fans just togetherness is amazing.
Like, he didn't even hear it the first time. Everybody was just so loud.
I mean, and that's, again, my numbers are probably off, but that's the 21st or 22nd movie in.
Yeah.
It gave us that.
It gave us that.
And like, and even for Cap on your left, that's a callback.
Callback to, yeah, exactly.
There we go. Like,
Yep.
Well, it gets even more impressive is when Cap throws the shield and then throws Mjolnir and they hit. That's a callback to the
From the
original
first movie,
event
yeah.
Right.
where Thor hits the shield. Yes,
Yep.
it is fantastic.
He knows how to use that.
Yeah.
And this movie is like the closest movie that I can think of anyway that I can compare, and it's a much lighter, you know, movie compared to the final season of Breaking Bad, just because of how it ties everything together, things that you wouldn't think of from, you know, the past seasons or past movies. Like they teased, obviously Cap, lifting the hammer, and Age of Ultron brings that back in this one, like you guys are saying, with the shield and hammer hitting each other. With the first Avengers, where you have Iron Man and Captain America, are fighting, and Captain America says you'll never you always put yourself first, and he says you're just basically from a bottle. Everything special from you is from a bottle, and it just brings all those things back where Tony sacrifices himself to die in, and Cap, obviously goes back to Peggy or whatever. But but it all ties everything from past movies together, kind of like how that final season of Breaking Bad tied everything together. Granted, the final season of Breaking Bad is much darker.
Yeah.
But
it's because Vince Gilligan saw that whole thing.
Yes.
And Kevin Feige saw this whole thing.
Yeah.
And in franchises, you got coming in and out, and it's just trying to do fan service.
Yeah. Well, and what's funny is something I noticed. My son and I went back and rewatched Guardians. He absolutely adores the original Guardians.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Work. Go ahead.
If you look, I'm sorry, it's in Infinity War. If you go, when Thanos throw off to get the Soul Stone. Mm-hmm. If you look close, right next to where she lands is a pool of blood. Widow fell.
Yes. Ooh. See, that's the best thing about like the 4K. Every time I watch that movie, I see something different.
I just like the fact that it.
Hey, this happened with the Chandler episode, right? Where Matty G just kind of went away.
He just kind of
going away.
Gamora's blood isn't red.
Somebody snapped.
Right. And her blood either.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
That's a new one for me, because like a few weeks, like I was always like wondering like what like Mantis was doing during Endgame, like what is Mantis doing? And then if you look in the background of the frames, she's taking down those big guys. Like
putting them to sleep.
She's jumping on them and then just putting them to sleep.
And then taking them down.
I love that, because the whole entire time I was ignorant. I'm like, well, what's Mantis doing here? And then I just see her riding one of these beasts and just putting them to sleep. It's incredible.
Yeah, I saw one of the videos that slowed that down and pointed that out.
Yeah.
All the fans are going
on the front line just yelling.
The intricacies are off the chart. They and none of them are forced or fan service. But it all
fits. Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Well, it's like when I saw Infinity War opening night, there were a bunch of younger. We went kind of early because the kid doesn't want to go out that late or whatever. You could hear the hearts of every younger child in that movie break when Spider-Man gets snapped away. You can just hear it in their chest. I look over and
people like mad and angry.
Yeah,
in bad mood.
Visible gasps. Like
when
people went, no!
People were being like rude after the show, though. Like they were in such bad moods. Like it just brought them down. Like it was like, it was incredible. I'd never seen anything like that before.
Yeah. And I worked at a movie theater at the time Infinity War came out and Endgame came out, and I saw both those movies before anybody else did, because I had to make sure it worked properly. There was nothing wrong with the file. But so I knew like all that was going to happen. So opening night, I had the day off for both. Right as like key moments, like when Thor, Rocket and Groot go to Wakanda, obviously everybody dusting. As soon as I knew it was going to happen, I just looked back, just to see everybody's reactions, and then Endgame, that was perfect because of that whole last hour. So that was fun.
That's probably the best use of a theme is when Thor and it pops up in Wakanda and that Avengers theme kicks. That actually, almost every single time, it makes me well up. Because it's such a perfect sting, man. It's just perfect.
It's better in Endgame, but I actually have like the figure. There's this gallery figure of Thor like assembling like the armor together and holding the axe up, and I just love it.
It's a great moment.
Yeah, here's
Black Widow's just like, what's that?
That's me going to the Avengers. I got my Avengers. Infinity.
Nice.
Infinity.
Nice.
War, right? This is me
There you
after
go.
Infinity War.
Crushed.
Yeah, then you're like,
He's crying. He's crying. He's on his knees.
People texting me. But yeah, just like all, like, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody
Nice.
yelled as everybody was dusting when Black Panther dusts.
I think
like,
everybody
"We're not
felt
gonna
that
get
way
Black
at the end of the
Panther
movie.
And
Yeah, that
we
was
can
funny.
left and not hear this point, but in terms of new things,
No.
again, I'm going to
Complete MCU
There it is.
right there.
I'm going to quote Adam all the time because it's Adam and I who talk movies all the time, and he said it's one time he watched it. You know, that final shot sort of comes in Peggy's door, up in the window.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because you know we're realizing at the time he stayed back there for her. However, Adam said, "Watch that scene closely, and you'll see the door is ajar." So that's not, "Hey, look, he stayed back there." That's the moment he went in.
He went back.
And surprised her, and
Mm.
it just brings a
How
little
we do
more.
it.
Just the fact that the Russo brothers leave the door ajar. It's like he just went in just now, and that we're seeing that instead. It makes that moment even more special. You know, I mean, I don't get how the Russos aren't nominated for directing.
I know.
Right?
I thought
Exactly.
especially the first one because of, you know, like just how they brought different tones, different characters all together. Like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy is a different like tone. I mean, they're all lighter, you know, you have humor and whatnot, but it's different in like your Black Panthers and Iron Man. So how they brought all these different things, I thought that alone, and then plus with you know just how good Thanos was in it, I thought that alone should have gave him some consideration for a, you know, a directing nomination. I mean, even the Golden Globes, you have like, you know, you could have nominated, you know, them, the Golden Globes.
Right.
Yeah, you look at the scene in Civil War, which is my favorite of all of it. And Tony gives away all the money at MIT, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's books.
then Alfie Woodard threatens him. And
Okay,
Black
but he
Rock.
goes, let's take that slower. He goes down the hall, and Alfred Woodard's standing by the elevator. He stands there for a second and realizes
She hasn't put the button.
he doesn't press the button. Again, true to great writing, Star Wars would have overwritten all this. He doesn't say,
exactly.
"Yeah, I didn't press." I mean, he just presses the button. Then we're all clued into the fact that this isn't just a woman waiting for the elevator.
Exactly.
Her purse. He puts his hand over because he's got the PTSD. You know, they address that. And there's so much going on in that scene. It's like a Bourne movie. And these Russo brothers. And if you watch that scene and you don't get that these aren't just superhero movies, that they're in fact excellent films, you know, you're lost to me because I don't. You're not paying attention. If something superhero movies in general. And we can't. So
absolutely, that was one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Is the last closing scene where you get to just see him. The one thing he wanted, he did get.
Yep. And what was your favorite?
For Devin because he has the Iron Man.
Yeah, we're waiting for Devin and Alan to go.
Favorite movie of all time. Whoever would care. Whoever doesn't have a mask on.
Devin, you want to? Okay, I'll go then. I've got two. Well, really three.
All cheating.
I'm cheating. My favorite, I think, movies of all time: the original Godzilla. I absolutely love that movie because
right or Raymond.
What's that? Oh no, yeah, before Raymond Burr. Yeah, the actual Japanese Gojira, the original Godzilla film, made me realize the power of film. That this takes me to another world. This is another place, but it's very real, and there are these people that I relate to, even though I don't know. I've been to Japan once, but this was years later. I saw the movie first when I was probably 10 or 12 years old, between 10 and 12 years old, and it was just the terror, the horror, the empathy, the sympathy with this whole film is about the horrible bombing and the war. And it's just the allegory of that, just told through a monster movie, which is now the second film was same director, a total B movie cheese fest. But that original Godzilla movie is so poignant about humanity and the devastation and the rising again. the power of the human spirit. It's just absolutely incredible. So that film I love to death. The Wizard of Oz, again, as far as a film, all the things they were able to do in that time period is just absolutely beautiful. The songs are beautiful. The story is great. The acting is fantastic. Scarecrow's physicality, this coming from an actor, the physicality exhibited in that is just absolutely breathtaking. The physical, amazing acting ability there. And then a more recent-ish film is Immortal Beloved, Bernard Rose, the Beethoven film. Oh God, because Gary Oldman, my favorite actor of all time, hands down, period. Yeah, Gary Oldman, the greatest actor ever, in my opinion. And my favorite music, Beethoven was my favorite musician of all time. And to see his music come to life, and it's just incredible. It's beautiful to see that. So yeah, and the London Philharmonic, which did all the recordings, was just absolutely incredible.
I had that soundtrack for many years. I still do, but it's on cassette tape, so I don't listen to it much. I got to change that. Gary Oldman made goodness interesting in the Dark Knight movies. He really is one of the best actors ever.
Yeah.
Immortal Beloved, 250 movies. No one's brought that one up. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, Glenn Morshower cheated, and he said Shawshank and Wizard of Oz. So, those are good choices.
I appreciated that one. I like that guy. We were just watching the first 3 Transformers movies earlier today, and he's in all those.
Bringing the gravitas to the giant.
Gravitas, yes. There's no word. What do you
Is
got?
that what we call the gravitas? Is that what we're calling the robot's nut?
Alan died.
Alan just audio dropped himself off of the
He got
chat.
eaten by a raptor.
He got eaten by a raptor.
Called out his name and then bit his head off. Alan. That's official audio of what happened. This will be at the report when
It's crazy how fast you got that.
All right. What do you got, Devin?
So, when you first asked the question, I got like a rapid fire of movies, just kind of going through what brought me up, I guess. And the first movie that came to mind was Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'd seen it like a few times when I was younger, but parents always made a big deal about it. And that made me remember that we had seen Home Alone every year. Then there was every time I was at my grandparents' house, I would see Howl's Moving Castle. That was always on. And then
I mean, that's that's fine.
This is a big one.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
That's 3. You can keep going, but
What did you say?
So I eventually settled on the original Transformers movie from the 80s.
Okay.
There he is.
The Universal Greeting, so much stuff. If I remember correctly, the actor for Unicron, Orson Welles.
Orson Welles.
Yeah.
Orson Welles.
It was Leonard Nimoy.
He was Galvatron.
Yeah.
His last performance.
His final performance. Yep. Unicron.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah. Transformers have been like a big part of my whole life, pretty much.
He's so many toys.
that can often have a lot to do with it, with the length of time the movie's been with you. I love La La Land. I love Captain Phillips.
Yeah.
I love No Country for Old Men. but they just haven't been with me as long as Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is my numero uno. That's 39 years now that movie's been with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to ever beat it. It's the best movie I've ever seen. It's my favorite film of all time. And same with Transformers. I see you've gone into the mask.
Gone into the mask. He retreats into the mask.
He's on full mask.
That original, the Transformers movie, every time I'm about to destroy something, or win in some kind of contest, I always go to "It's over, Prime." Just Megatron get that killing blow on Optimus. Oh, devastating.
You got the touch.
There you go.
One shall fall.
One shall fall. Oh man, good stuff.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask Paul his question, guys.
Okay, go ahead.
Paul, what is one thing?
I do when people ask questions. Go ahead.
What is the one thing? And I can just do that so nobody can hear it.
That was beautiful.
I'll just mute his ass and nobody can hear him. No.
Continue.
Yeah, I don't think he noticed that I muted him. So.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Mudslide or just a milkshake? What is that? Protein
No,
shake?
it's protein. Hey, come on,
He
guys.
changed it. He changed it to from the whey powder to what was of the new powder, right?
Very on top of what powder I'm using. He always
That's right.
find that out. He's looking for performance enhancement and never finds it. God bless him.
Nice.
There was a question.
What's one thing about you that our audience doesn't know? And a quietness falls across the
Is it
stream.
your favorite movie yet?
Darkness falls across the line.
Darkness.
You know what? I even heard you ask Chandra this. I didn't know that was the one thing you ask everybody. So I'm not. Wow.
Did ask Sandra,
It is. Chandra, we asked him. Yes, we did.
He's a
It's
black
when
belt,
he
right?
told us
Yep.
that he was
That's when he told us, yeah.
multiple black belt in it's a multiple
Taekwondo.
Jiu-jitsu.
black-
Taekwondo? Is it Taekwondo?
Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Roll the tape. I know my martial arts.
I see a tight trivia chiming in here on the comments, talking about how impressed, I guess they are, that I'm continuing on with this, given what I went through with my wife last season. If you don't know, she passed away in December. One of the things I was going to do is, yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you for that. Yeah, do what you love, because that'll get you through a lot. And one of the things I enjoyed doing 14 years ago was studying Hapkido.
Okay.
I don't know if this should be my thing you don't know about me, but I got up to blue belt and then I ran out of money. So,
no. Oh, no.
which is easy to do when you're studying martial arts, not cheap.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, no. No.
I went back in January. I'm like, I'm going to go back and get my black belt. And then, of course, 2 months later, now we're all indoors for who knows how long. So I was all excited to go back. I thought it would be part of the healing plan for my wife to get over, to get through just grieving.
Yeah.
My wife was Hapkido, therapy, which is the new normal.
Mhm.
Throw myself into my work. That's why Adam and I are doing dumb shit like Star Wars videos, just that and actual work. And then if I'm not doing those things, I'll be at the movies, or now in this case, I'll be here watching movies, and I've seen a bunch. But I can't say Hapkido because I'm not a black belt, first of all, and that he just said that. So
I want to fight you. That would be fun.
He's a blue belt too. That's right. You were a blue belt.
Want to bring the pain?
Bring it.
Up to this?
Is Ryan available? His last name is him? No, yeah. My first karate instructor was Tommy from the Power Rangers. So that's kind of my cool tidbit, but that's like my only cool
Well, that's
thing.
one way to say that you were watching television.
When I was
Right.
5.
Shut in.
I was a
Only
guy
watching-
named Master Hojin Song. Now he's a grandmaster. Hojin.
Nice.
He teaches it here in town. Hapkido's cool because it's very zen. You know, it's not
Mm.
like "Ah-ya-ya!" It's
Yeah.
you know, learning about circular motion and my power plus your power equals my power, and and you learn different principles that are just. I thought it would be good for my head and with the body back in shape as well. So you could fight me, but I defense only.
Yeah, no,
Ooh,
no.
nice.
Because
So he would win.
But yeah, we do a lot of martial arts fencing. We
Yeah.
kind of do some of this like unrestricted fencing with these foam swords. We do a lot of like sword fighting. I kind of got into the weaponized martial arts more recently. But yeah, I was doing martial arts since I was
He's got-
nice.
Oh, nice.
Okay. No, I'll get it.
I think he wins. I think he wins.
This one speaks
Time for
too.
sabers. I've got this.
And I will raise you one, Ray Skywalker.
This is to make food. It's not to fight. No fighting.
The lightsaber of one Ray Skywalker.
Well, my guy, Master Song's the best. He says things like, I kick you in shin, you go blind. I'm like, what? and I believe him because he do something. He would grab your elbow here, and he would just go, I push you right here, and you're like,
His hand registered as lethal weapons.
yeah.
How do you not love that?
I go to jail.
Absolutely.
How do you not love that? That's awesome.
I had wacky acting jobs people probably don't know about. I worked at a
What's the-
Renaissance fair
Oh, nice.
because I studied improv years ago, and then I figured that's 8 hours of improvising in Old England. So
How nice.
I'll take the money and work for the summer, and I did. Yeah.
Nice. I ran a pirate ship adventure cruise a couple years ago here in Hawaii, and it was Renaissance fair on a ship, but we didn't get mics and anything like that. It was pretty fun.
We didn't either. We
Yeah.
went to stages.
Yep.
And huzzah! Welcome the Queen. We shall perform this day for Her Majesty. And then
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Fun.
fun with no voice.
Yeah. Fun with no voice after a while.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, if I could ask you a couple things about, because I've always been impressed. Schmodown stuff. I never miss a match. I'm always watching them, and I've always been amazed by your gameplay for a long time. How do you feel about the factions now? The factions being brought into it, and
Like all
the
the
different teams.
teams and all that.
Yeah, all the different factions and the names, that kind of thing. Having the managers, how do you feel? How are you feeling about that so far?
I like it. Adam and I didn't want to be split up, but I think we ended up with managers that are right for us. Adam's fitting right in at the dungeon, and
Yeah,
the team with Kate's a lot of fun because she's crazy, and
she's out of her mind.
we will step to being crazy, in the same way as twist my arm. So
Nice.
I like that aspect of it, and I think it's been it's a shame we got cut down before we could really see a deep dive into that concept and how it would play out.
Right.
Yeah.
Rivalry's really going, but so far I enjoy it. Yeah, I look forward
We're
to
trying to make little tags for the different factions. Like that's the corruption one. I made that for Ken, but he's not really with corruption anymore, so
No.
can't really do anything with it. So I might make some for like all the different factions. I had a Wild Berries one too, but they broke up as well.
Yeah, we were asked on Schmobates.
Yeah, Schmobates.
Yeah.
You'd want to bring back, and that was my thing. Was the Wild Berries, and Adams was the Shire
They're fun.
one. And
Ooh, Shire.
yeah, I mean, there's no wrong answer there.
No.
Okay. Since we talked MCU earlier, how do you feel about intergatum categories on the wheel?
I am not the one. I play along, and I just we go too deep, and I don't and I'm not that versed.
Oh no! I should have. I'm sorry. In singles and teams. I'm sorry.
How often are they doing that? I don't think I've ever hit one, thankfully. I guess
Well,
Rick was on the
It's
wheel.
more recent.
it was more recent. Competitors are kind of getting upset because people are putting Middle Earth or various inner geekdom categories on the singles and teams wheel as a strength.
I don't know what the rules are, but I think if
Right.
it benefits you, you should do it, right? If your team knows it, stick it up there.
That's what Rachel said too. They're movies.
Rachel,
movies are movies.
Silvestrini.
Yeah, you're
the Switchblade.
passionate.
Yes. Yeah. Pride zone.
I have a soundbite of her if you want.
Yeah, that's fine by me. I'm gonna know. I don't know. Are the questions different in a singles and doubles or singles and teams tournament intergeek question than they would be in an intergeekdom league?
According to Rachel, the way she's to understand it is that they're all round 2 questions. They're just not as deep cut as in Inner Geekdom.
And I'll take it. I've seen a lot of those movies. I just haven't studied them.
Should be like
I'm in the Rachel Cushing camp here anyway. You know, when Rachel wrote that letter that she was retiring, she said, this started out as a bunch of pundits who talk about movies getting together to see who knew the most. And now it's people studying. Now it's people with doctors and, intensive hours in front of the TV. And I still don't do that. I've seen all these movies. I've got years on a lot of these competitors and where I've seen the movies over and over again. And I kind of just know them. I used to work in a movie theater, and I'd go in and I'd watch them. I'd close up the concession stand and just stand in the back of the theater and watch the movies. So I've done that to death, and that's kind of my knowledge in all this. I don't really study. So if I had to study what's that question they asked about what thing does Snape say to turn to whatever?
Oh yeah, the page number in the book in the textbook.
It became a famous meme or something.
Yeah.
But I could tell you who played Snape. I could tell you, what he thought. I could tell you what movies this or that character appeared in. So if I don't go too deep, I'm fine. But I think if it benefits your team and it's in the mix and it's not illegal, you can't say no to doing it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Star Wars was in it at one point. I'm sure Marvel's been in, comic book movies. So I've always thought if it's a movie, it's it should be included in movie trivia. I don't think certain movies should be, pushed out of the singles and teams. Just if somebody wants to put it in, that's their strength, then they should be able to use it.
Yeah.
That's the point of putting up the strength of yours. Put what and hope that whoever you're playing against, whatever their strength is, it's not too difficult, just in case you land on it.
I really want them to make a Nova movie.
A Nova movie.
The character, yeah, Nova.
Why not?
Yeah, they should.
That was the most shameless thing I've ever done in my life.
Small thing now, Paul. Was the board slam a choice or just something you just did every time you show your answer?
I found myself doing it, and then I just kept doing it.
Nice, all right. I figured it was something like that.
Ken and Mark were annoyed by it, so I said, I'll keep doing that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That works. I
think. I appreciate the comment on round one's going well, and that is why I'm bugged that there's no free for all, because it's I probably could have done pretty well this year. Last year I was brand new. I came in, I was like, hey, I lasted 2 rounds and I was out, and everyone went, who the hell was that? I was looking forward to it this year because I've got a little spoon and again that level question that they probably have 1s and 2s. I imagine it's 1 and 2 pointers. I would have. That felt pretty good going in. Plus, that was my birthday, March 21st. I had that mojo for me as well.
Oh man!
Yeah. So, what are you gonna do?
Wow. Well, happy birthday! You get a plague.
Happy birthday.
Deadly virus.
Yeah, all these viruses.
Appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope when everything gets back to normal, they're able to do the free for all at a live event because, I mean, whenever it is, once it actually happens, it's going to be the loudest in that, whatever building they use. It's going to be the loudest that it's ever been. I mean, you could have 5 people in there and it's still going to be louder than any other event that they've had because finally, we're able to go out and then we get to start off with that and it's going to be nuts. So I really do hope, the free for all can still happen this year and it doesn't end up, just getting pushed to next year.
Yeah, we'll just
like
pretend
everything.
it's birthday so I can feel the good vibes going in.
Yeah,
There you go.
So somebody else is
Bring in a cake.
I want to actually go to one of these things.
Right.
That's the thing too. On my birthday, I didn't plan ahead, so I didn't shop for a cake. I realized it was my birthday. I was like, all I have is vanilla pudding, so I made vanilla pudding. But it holds a candle up, which is nice. So.
Hey, there you go. That works.
I had 7 friends of mine on Zoom single happy birthday, and they can't hear each other, and they're off the beat, and it was a big mess, but it was charming in its own weird way.
Nice.
Corona
nice.
Yeah.
Corona birthday.
Oh, here's something else you may not know about me.
Ridiculous.
Your question. I'm a donkey puppeteer up at Universal Studios Hollywood. Donkey from Shrek.
Oh wow,
I don't know.
That's cool.
I don't know if the voice. I just looked down and I realized this is sitting there. Hey, how you doing?
You've got a donkey voice.
Yeah.
Please
So
do it.
it's a big, if you haven't seen it, it's a big puppet, and you stand behind a scrim and you operate it. I hope the voice translates over Zoom, but it's it's something like this. The Eddie Murphy voice. So we have a lot of fun. Hey, you got 2 guys named Mike, Maddie. I'm going to get confused.
I wonder what it
Perfect.
Face, not a trace of dad in my mind. I'm in love. I couldn't leave.
I wonder what
Matt,
Jar Jar Binks and Donkey would sound like.
I'm sure we could figure that out with a couple people on this stream.
All right, Paul, you ready?
Oh, we have a Jar Jar expert on here.
We have a Jar Jar. We got a Jar Jar. Oh, he's got your Jar Jar. All right, here we go.
I don't be talking to no Jar Jar.
Listen, I'm a Simon. Donkey, what you want to do? You want to make waffles? You want to go home? What do you want?
Man, I don't understand the word you said.
You
You just say the magic word. Waffle.
It is. It's surrounded by the gods. It is.
Listen, you know, a Gungan's a lot like an ogre. It's got layers. So let's switch you open and see what we got.
Lisa proposed that we should give supreme powers, emergency powers, to the supreme donkey.
Hey, guys, I got no idea what he's saying.
You don't know what I'm saying. He's a donkey.
Hey, this is the way. That's better.
Are you under that's a helmet? Is that how I
We still going.
He's still going. Oh my God! I can't. Oh my God!
Oh,
Now, random
right, that
I got
Get
nothing.
a DL-44 in his pocket, people. Come on.
I never ever thought I would see the day where that just happened. It just happened. Thank you for that. Big mahalo for that.
I don't know, Matt's pretty good too. I mean, Matt's got some.
Oh, you guys. All right, I gotta jump off here because I gotta go eat dinner with the kids. But
It's my show. You're not going anywhere.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Preston, but you know the kids. You know we just did the Easter egg dyeing, and now we gotta eat the dinner. And oh man, I'm gonna get the blender.
What island are you on?
Oahu. So Oahu, yeah. And I always throw this out to everybody. It's where Honolulu is, yeah. I always throw this out to everybody who comes. You know, I got a 4th bedroom, plenty place to stay, and a free tour guide if you ever come to the island. So
We gotta go to
And
the
it's
lion.
coronavirus free.
Right.
Well,
He
when we're
knows
corona free.
everything.
That's right. Right now, you can't come here.
What are your cases there? How many cases of it?
We just reached 400 by all the islands, and the death is I think it was 47. So quite a lot, which is odd. But there's been everybody's on lockdown. Can't go to beaches. Can't do pretty much anything. Go to essential places. Where I work is a place called Kualoa Ranch, where they filmed a lot of Jurassic Park, the Jurassic World films, and all those. The Jumanjis is completely shut down right now. So I can go there every now and then. It's because we have farm animals to take care of, but that's it. So it's pretty bleak, being on a tropical island and not going to the beach. Well, speaking of puppets, I was the blue puppets, the raptor from Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I was in one of the puppets for that, not in the movie, but afterwards. Yeah. During one of the press things, yeah.
Okay. Just at your house.
Yeah, just at my house, just hanging out. No, the thing is 50 pounds, holding it up like this, with the animatronic heads and the sounds and everything. It's crazy, and really.
Your
hot.
wife walks into your room.
I didn't know
Alan,
that.
what are you doing with that?
I'm just playing with Blue. It's all good. Don't worry. Just gotta calm her down.
This is the last question. Did you freak out when they sent that crazy text about missiles headed towards Hawaii or whatever?
All right. So yeah, funny you bring that up.
Because I'm curious.
All right. On that day, and everybody on the island knows that day very well. Where I work, again, during the bombing of Pearl Harbor, little known fact, there's a Marine Corps base in Kaneohe Bay, which is directly across this way from me, where I am now. Right. That bay was bombed first. So they came over, bombed that bay, the Marine Corps base, then flew over the Ko'olau mountain range and then bombed Pearl Harbor. So we have a large bunker in the Ahupua, or the land division of Ka'ava. And it can hold about 500 people, not comfortably. It's very, very tight in there. And it is a bunker inside of a mountain. So we got the alert, everybody got the alert on their phones, and we had about 300 people at the ranch where I work at Kualoa, and we've got all 300 people inside that bunker within 18 minutes.
Wow.
So yeah, because we couldn't think of, the thing was, okay, what do we do? Well, let's get people, they do bus tours and all these kind of things, and let's get them inside there. So we got everybody inside there. In fact, it's about a usual 15 to 20 minute drive. And I made it in 7. In the first time I took a truckload of people up there. And so it was pretty interesting and pretty crazy, but we kind of joked as we're standing there waiting for the inevitable. And people were freaking out because we have a lot of tourists, a lot of guests that were there. And they're saying, are we gonna survive this? I said, well, you can look at it this way. We're inside a huge steel bunker, these walls are very, very thick. These doors can withstand a lot of different blasts, but depending on the type of missile and depending on the 2 viable targets here in Hawaii, one is Pearl Harbor and the other one is that Marine Corps base that you can see right there. So either we're going to be all right or we're going to have a good view of the end of the world. So there you go. There's your options. Yeah. So it's a pretty interesting moment. I mean, it was uncool. Well, it's one of those things where I thought I'd never see anything or live through anything like this. And I thought, well, I'll never see anything like that again. And then here comes the coronavirus. So it's pretty remarkable, pretty amazing. But yeah, but other than that, great place to live. Wouldn't want to live anyplace else. Love it.
So you wouldn't go back to Indiana?
Wouldn't go back to Indiana. Yeah, not going back to Indiana anytime soon. Yeah, I know. It's
fine. I want to leave too.
All right, Alan.
All right. Yes. So, Mr. Preston, sir, it was a pleasure meeting you. Mahalo for this, and we're going to keep watching you just annihilate, and you're going to get that win very soon. And I can't wait to watch your the commentary or these sports commentators of the Star Wars. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, we'll post it on the Facebook page.
Oh god, that
Cool.
sounds awesome.
Go down Facebook page.
Cool. Right on. All right. Aloha, sir. Take care. Thank you.
Like that.
All right, gentlemen. See you guys later.
All right, boys.
That was Alan.
He does that. It's all authentic. We do it. And we just look like posers.
I just think it's hilarious that the
I don't
raptor
get-
saying Alan and he was actually Blue, the raptor. So it has like a double meaning.
There you go.
There you go. Well, okay, cat.
wonder-
My cat.
Oh, is it me to continue taking over the show?
Sure.
Hey, you do what you're comfortable with, man.
Thanks for coming.
Okay.
All right, so you brought
quick
up a question. Let's go back
What is up with the Downton Abbey poster behind you?
Oh,
Are
shoot.
you
I
a
didn't notice that.
It's Star Trek.
It's a movie.
I just out of curiosity, no judgment here. I mean,
I binged that show last year. I binged Game of Thrones from January to May, and then watched the finale of Game of Thrones. And then in the summer, I binged Downton Abbey so I could watch the movie in September. So those
Gotcha.
were my binges last year. And then I work up at Universal, so I got it's a Focus Features movie, which is owned by Universal, so I got a poster.
What's
gotcha.
your favorite thing about Downtown Abbey?
It's not that. How dare you?
Can't decide.
Jesus, Nikki.
What was your question? All I heard was Downtown Abbey, and then
What's your favorite thing about Downton Abbey?
that it's a rougher show than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be some tea time parlor
I like tea.
drama, but it's got war, it's got blood, it's got affairs, there's death, there's all it's got everything, and it's managed by these people who are supposed to have socialite demeanor, and they find it difficult because the shit hits the fan every week on that show. It's really not to mention the stellar actors, top to bottom, and new people you discover that I always find it weird that when I watch a show and they have these great actors and you never see them again. Like, did you ever watch The Shield?
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite shows. So I love shows where people get deep into trouble and then they have to get out of it and you don't know how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
You can't get ahead of the show. Ozark is like that, Breaking Bad, of course.
Yeah.
And the guy who played Dutch in The Shield, like, where's that guy? The guy was so great. And these TV guys sometimes just disappear. Like this guy who played, this guy's great. You never saw him again. She's great. You never saw her again. Like a married couple, though. It's like it's weird how the business picks some people to continue on, and others. No, it's weird.
It's about
working somewhere. They're doing a day part in this show or a day part in that show, but the extent to which they were, just involved in some of these shows, and then just how are you not on the scene every week in something else? Game of Thrones is full of those people too.
A lot of the actors that I saw maybe 10, 20 years ago on TV, the reason they stayed on TV shows was they traveled. So if a show is shooting in Atlanta, they'd move to Atlanta. If a show is shooting in Vancouver, they'd move to Vancouver. So I think that's kind of an aspect to it. So maybe I don't know if they shot in London, but maybe the reason you're not seeing them is because they're London-based actors, and I don't know, maybe they haven't done any American stuff. But I'd like to see some of them too, because what is her name? Maggie Grace, is that her name? She's the lady from Harry Potter.
Maggie Smith.
Yeah. Maggie Smith.
The one on Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Maggie Smith. Okay. Yeah, she's great.
Oh, yeah, she's Oscar winner.
The only other place I ever saw her in was Harry Potter, and then she's popping up on that. Oh yeah, she's great.
Oh yeah, no, she won an Oscar before you were born, probably.
Probably 1991. So
yeah,
maybe before.
back in the '60s, she won an Oscar.
Wow.
So she's been around for forever. They were lucky to get her, but some of these other, Hugh Bonneville, you'll recognize him from Paddington. So he's government's been making movies since the '80s. She's having a
the
baby.
girl with the hair.
Racing with the Moon. Which one?
The girl with the hair.
The girl with the hair.
The girl on the right.
That totally limits it.
So she was just in the Gentle. That girl. The Guy Ritchie film.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that.
Phil Dockery. So she's
I
really
loved that. Yeah, and she was in
Yeah.
it. She was good in that. Michelle Dockery. Yeah. No,
Mhm.
I know her. I recognize her. Yeah. So
yeah.
that
So they do keep
with the
working.
hair.
That guy-
That's why I said that because like I recognize her from The Gentleman and just other things she's done. Michelle
all,
Dockery's good.
all their hair is pretty dead. Their hair is pretty dead. Every one of them.
I
That
thought,
guy,
like,
the guy's a butler over there. He's kind of got lights on him, tough to see. But he was just in The Good Liar with Ian McKellen. So I mean, they're all. A lot of them are working a ton, but not that guy, not those two on the staircase. You know, and
They've
don't
been
get it.
banished to the basement.
It's just survival of the fittest, I guess. But it's a shame because guys like Dutch on the Shield were just fantastic. And
yeah, exactly. Chick was good. Chicklets was good, but just the supporting cast was good on that show.
Yeah, all those guys. Lem, apparently he's on some other TV show. Of course, Shane went up. Walton Goggins, he works a ton.
Yeah.
But some of them, Kim Delaney, PD Blue. Why did we never see her again? It's weird. She's so good.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
See, these are all shows that I watched with my parents, so it's like I was growing up like towards the end of those. So it's kind of like, you know, now that you say it. No, I was 24. I was older when that came out, so don't go there. Nick.
Carlos
That's tight.
Bernard, who played Tony Almeida in 24. Like, he's so
Carlos
good. Where is he? It's weird.
Yeah, where is he? He was on the last season they did 24 when they had Corey Hawkins. That's the last time I saw him.
Yeah, he became a bad guy as Almeida. You know,
He became a bad guy and then he became a good guy.
Yeah.
But like it was weird. They had like this short that was released on TV. I love the show 24. Like that show's great. Like they were always had a 24 movie in production. It was like pre-production. They said they were going to do it, and then they just never did it. But now apparently Disney owns the rights to 24, so maybe we'll see something with that eventually.
Oh come
Disney
on, we'll
Plus
get the movie to 24 when we get a sequel to Dread. I mean, just leave it at that.
Yeah, but 24 was like network though. So that's the thing that they could do with 24. You could have a PG-13 rated 24 movie because it was already PG-13 to begin with.
Yeah, because I remember in the first series finale of 24 when it was supposed to end, it like set up the movie, or it was supposed to set up the movie and everything too, and then the movie never happened.
No. Yeah, they
I would
kept
like to
doing
have seen it.
doing it, and Corey Hawkins was there for a second, and then they never did another Corey Hawkins season.
Well,
Didn't they do one more with? Didn't they do one more with Jack? Like a 12-hour thing.
Jimmy Smith was in it. Yeah, they did 2 12-hour seasons. One with Kiefer, and then one with Corey Hawkins.
I thought they did Kiefer one later.
Jimmy Smith is fantastic. I love that
Jimmy
man.
Smith
He
is
was
Princess Leia's father.
Yes, he was fantastic in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
like he played almost the moral compass of everybody. I know, you know, a show about bikers and gangsters, a moral compass and a show about bikers and gangsters. But
he just did this on his own, guys.
I'm sitting here watching this, trying to talk, and I'm like, I just want to keep going with it.
It's kind of heavy now.
As long as there's no Yankee hat. Is there a Yankee hat?
There's no Yankee hat here.
That
look at me,
last
man.
one?
I got a Red Sox shirt on. Yankee hat on.
Just checking.
Is that a Cowboys hat? How dare you?
Ah,
How
okay.
dare you?
That one's the one we're going with.
All right, while we're debating, favorite TV show of all time, Maddie G, go. You can give me a drama and a comedy if you want.
Okay, drama would be Breaking Bad. It just never even their bummer episodes were still good. Comedy, you could count WWE. No, because that's all a joke.
There you go.
It is a joke.
Comedy.
Rock 79 on Star Trek Voyager once. That was pretty funny.
I'm gonna go. This is gonna be weird, but MASH.
Not for like 100 seasons. Yeah, it's not weird at all. Yeah. Breaking Bad. You tell me you're watching Better Call Saul because that's the best show on TV right now.
I watched the first 3 seasons. It's one of the only shows like I fell off of.
Oh, keep going. It's you want to get back on that train, you won't be disappointed. This season is excellent.
I fell off
It
of
starts.
that, and ironically, The Walking Dead. I just ditched that entire network for some reason.
Yeah, Walking Dead. I haven't watched since a year ago, and
Right.
I know I have to get back on it because I'm kind of invested, but it really is not good.
I like the
No,
last
that-
time I watched it ended in a way where I was like, okay, they got Negan, he's in a cell. I can have that ending. So like I don't need to see like Rick leave. I don't need to see Michonne leave. Like these are the reasons I was watching the show. Like Denai Guerrero is one of the only reasons I watched that show. I'm like, who's that samurai lady? She's awesome.
Yeah, I stopped watching that after season 4. I think it was. It was like after the first time they would all like split up and do whatever. I was like, why are we splitting up? That you're taking away what makes the show good is all them together. We're just gonna split them up. Okay, don't like that. And then I'd watch the season 6 or 7 whenever you see who Negan kills. I watched that and I loved that episode. And I was like, okay, I'll start watching the show again. Then the next episode, I was like, oh, okay, now we're back to how bad
how
the
it
show
is.
was.
What's your all-time favorite, Matt? Drama and comedy.
Well, drama is definitely Breaking Bad. It just kept improving each season. Like I said, it ties everything up better than I think any other show has in general. I can't think of a lot of things that were left open other than the Jesse thing. It seemed like anything, everything in that show other than that was all tied up. It ended, and I mean the Jesse thing. I thought they left it open just for the whole kind of like Inception, where you're thinking about okay, what's going to happen next with the whole Spindle thing. I was like, where's Jesse going to go? You're kind of making up your own ending. And then for comedy, probably All in the Family. That was one. Me and the family watched, especially back then. We watched that, Andy Griffith and all that. But All in the Family was the one I would continue to watch, over and over again. So I say that's probably. I say MASH was close, but that almost it gets more dramatic as it goes on. So as pure comedy, it would be All in the Family, but MASH is right behind there. I might even have given it the edge if it would have stuck to the comedy, but it was it just mixed drama and comedy together. So I guess that's my favorite in the middle, I guess.
Did you see El Camino?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was
I
satisfying. I thought that Vince Gilligan, man, he just jumped right back into that world, demanded the attention of the audience the way he demanded it during the show. He doesn't spell everything out. He doesn't rush it. He just lapses you right back into that groove, and brings the suspense, brings the killer acting. And I didn't know I needed to know what happened to Jesse.
Yeah, I was good. I was good. The finale, Jesse drives off. I'm like, cool. He's gone.
That was a good end for him.
Everything's over. And then El Camino came out, and I watched the final 3 episodes before it dropped at midnight, and I timed it perfectly. And literally, the way he picks it up, shot for shot, as Jesse's taking off, I was like, it's perfect. And Aaron Paul, that kid, he did Need for
Speed. In that.
Like, I love Need for Speed. That is one of those movies that just...
I'm going to watch that tomorrow.
I have fun with that movie. It's just pure popcorn fun. And it's Aaron Paul. It's not a good movie, but it's a good popcorn movie.
Last movie I saw.
I feel like Aaron Paul definitely should be nominated for El Camino, which, his chances already passed because of last year's awards, but he should have been nominated. He was spectacular in that.
Yeah, and you realize Jesse's really the hero of the whole Breaking Bad universe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because clearly the title suggests Walter went so bad, we were left with Jesse, who was sort of a shallow nincompoop, becoming this character you really cared about and then you wanted things for. And his redemption was great.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Nikki, I know you might have stuff put on your head during the course of your answers, but favorite TV show? Drama.
So you mentioned 24 before. That's definitely up there. Like that might be top 2 or 3. Arrow, because I'm a nerd. But number 1 has to be Star Trek: The Next Generation. That show like kind of molded me into who I am. Like I remember watching that show with my dad, like just growing up. Everything about me as a person, like the values that I have, I'm watching that show just randomly, and like I realized it's like that's why I think that way, because I learned it from that show. And that's one of those shows that I could just put on any episode at any given moment and just have it on and be like, yeah, I like this thing. So Picard has been amazing for me because it's kind of like just going back to that time frame, going back to those characters that were in that time frame. Star Trek Voyager's up there too. But yeah, I'd say Star Trek The Next Generation.
Yeah, that kind of took the baton from the original series and really added onto it as you would want it to do. You wouldn't want to just do the same thing. They really added
A lot of
layers.
movies are going on at the same time too.
Right. Yeah.
Like the original series is having their movies, Star Trek Next Generation is having their movies. Most of my exposure to that, I was alive when it was on, but back in the 90s, we didn't have streaming services, so we just would like flick on like UPN and like watch reruns of Star Trek Next Generation,
So did I.
whatever channel they aired it on. So like that, yeah, that was always my favorite.
I don't think I ever watched that when it originally aired. I was a reruns guy on that.
Yeah,
I was living at home between jobs, and just every night at 11 or something, it was on for like 2 hours.
Yeah. And Patrick Stewart, and you would know, even if you weren't looking at the screen, what it was, because it opened with that space. And you know exactly what it is because of Patrick Stewart's voice.
Yeah, throw the Federation flag up, man.
Seek out.
Yeah, switch things around. What are you doing?
Switch things around.
About Star Trek. There's no Star Trek banner.
One that's gone before.
Oh, but there is.
Yeah, but it needs to be represented.
Oh,
Nikki, comedy?
Comedy. Damn.
And you cannot say your life.
It's funny for other people. It has, it always. I wanted to say Parks and Rec or 30 Rock, but it goes back to Friends. Like Friends was what back when there weren't streaming services, we would have to go to Walmart and buy like the box set to watch those shows, or just turn on TBS or any syndicated network. But yeah, it was Friends. Jennifer Aniston, I just fell in love with her.
Still hot.
Courtney Cox, Matthew Perry, Matt LeBlanc, David Schwimmer, Lisa Kudrow. Those guys were just, I loved that. That was my first exposure to Paul Rudd. I never knew who Paul Rudd was before that. And then every time I saw Paul Rudd after that, I'm like, oh, it's the guy from Friends. So yeah.
He never aged.
He doesn't age. Paul Rudd actually has access to the time travel technology in Avengers Endgame so that he can Brightburn and grow up to be Paul Rudd again.
No, you know what it is, damn it? He regenerates. Let's be real. He's a Time Lord and he regenerates it back into himself.
It's like 7 to 9 in Data. Regenerate.
Yeah, we're not a bunch of nerds here.
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to go Twin Peaks and Arrested Development.
Oh, nice.
Although
I need to watch Twin Peaks.
It's hard to discount South Park as one of the funniest things ever made.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It's been out for
I still love
18 years, and it's still consistently as funny as it is.
21 years ago, I thought
21 years?
put out the film. And the film,
yeah.
it started well before that. Like 96 or 7.
They did a TED Talk recently where they
in the last 5 years.
Their TED Talk they did about going to the Oscars on acid dressed as in dresses is hysterical. It's literally Trey Parker and Matt Stone sitting in a room discussing it for like 45 minutes. They're just like, they did it because they wanted to.
They don't care about anything, and it is wildly refreshing when you watch their comedy. They just will skewer everybody, and they don't care. I mean, that season a few years ago when they got rid of Principal Victoria and they brought in PC Principal. His name is PC Principal. Like, they don't care. We'll call him PC Principal because we hate PC. It's culture, so we'll just call him that. And that's what they do. And then they just screw with everybody and they take a crap on everything and see you next week. And I love it.
Sexual harassment panda.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, then the substitute teacher came along, strong woman, and then PC Principal and strong woman had an affair. They're like, why not? Go screw. This is what we're doing, and I want to reflect their work more in my work as often as possible. just don't care.
I thought the Passion of the Christ episode was great too.
What's that?
I thought the Passion of the Christ episode was great too, where they go to Mel Gibson's house because they didn't like it and they wanted to get their money back.
Yep.
The Passion of the Jew.
I want my money back for every time I had to go to church as a kid.
I saw that.
Happy
I saw
Easter,
that
everybody.
movie in
Sorry,
theaters.
it's not the right time to do that. I'm the worst person in existence.
No one should have charged you to go to church. You got ripped off, my friend.
Did the collection thing, like I had to put
Oh,
money.
okay. Well, I don't put
The Joel Osmond's
still
church
gotta
or
pay to-
something.
Dramatic. What was your favorite TV show?
Yeah,
Devin didn't go yet.
Can't go wrong with the original Speed Racer. Saw the
Good show.
whole thing. We had all of it on 5 different DVDs. It was crazy.
Did you like the film?
So at the time watching it, back when it came out, yeah, I was all in for it. Looking back on it, I'm like, what the hell were they doing? But I also I got more out of a DS game based on the movies. It had all the tracks you were racing along, and pretty cool.
What comedy?
How about it? So that would that be a comedy or would that be a drama?
That's a drama. Speed Racer, I think, is technically, if you're gonna go there,
Right.
Drama.
But-
They had some crazy episodes, the father gave up his eyes so that his daughter could get an eye transplant. It was really weird.
and then the episode, of course, when Speed Racer drove into space.
No, I
What
don't think
was
they
your
did
favorite
that.
comedy?
Do
TV
you
show?
watch comedies?
Comedy TV show?
I'm gonna snack.
Let me give you some examples. The Simpsons, Cheers,
Cheers
Big
is a
Bang
great
Theory, Frasier, Seinfeld. Yeah. Nothing? Mary Tyler Moore Show, Jeffersons, Alice,
Saw
Strokes.
Seinfeld. Saw Friends.
Lucky Days, Three's
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Company, Golden Girls.
Three's Company.
I giggled at Golden Girls. That's positive.
Cheers.
Teen Titans Go. I mean, what do we?
Whoa! And on that note, I'm shutting the stream off. Oh.
Not a fan of the Teen Titans Go.
So a lot of the TV shows that I would watch, other than Speed Racer, was those crime, the true crime stuff. Joe Kedna, the entirety of Investigation Discovery.
Hilarious. I can't tell if your screen froze. I'm just going to say the most hilarious show you ever saw was 48 Hours mystery documentary show on History Channel. Is it The Jinx? Is that the funniest thing you ever saw?
I confused it with the first 48.
Funniest thing you ever saw?
Yeah, I confused 48 Hours with the first 48. It's like, well, that's not really a comedy.
Oh, that's it. The first 48, not 40. That's Dan Rather, 48 Hours. Favorite news program. Let's really get everybody tune out. All right. Well, I think that's all I got for my show. I don't have a musical act. So that's. I think we peaked at Jar Jar and Donkey conversation. From here on, spinning our wheels. Oh, good Lord.
Captain on the Bridge.
Nice.
That would be Ensign on the Bridge.
What have I got? I got nothing here.
Captain Ahab here.
What do I got? I got nothing.
Oh, that's cool.
Farting dog.
Oh,
That's a
Devin,
drone.
I got a show
Everybody show
that you
off your
could say is your
toys.
favorite comedy.
This is a drone.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yes.
So, Matt, why don't you talk to us about eating bats?
We're gonna get into the fucking bat thing again.
I mean, we could. I could get that
What?
image back up. Get the
What?
stream shut down.
Yeah, let's not do that image. That was a little much.
Have
I'm
you
surprised the
done
stream wasn't taken out. Let's not get back dick. Let's not get back dick.
Have you
Huh?
Bat? A bat?
Yeah, no. I ranted a few weeks ago about people eating bats and why it's a bad thing to eat them because it's going to cause pandemics.
Bad idea. Yeah, clearly we're
Yeah,
seeing.
it's like we don't eat. You don't eat bats, okay? I mean, look, it was meant to be a joke in Anchorman, okay?
And Indiana
When,
the Temple of Doom.
yeah, it's
And a
like you
black
don't
cat.
eat bats or monkey brains. You don't do any of that,
Right.
Because if you do, you're gonna shut the world down for a couple months.
You don't want viruses to jump species.
Oh,
Thanks
so
a lot,
eat-
guys.
So,
Thanks,
like,
Jen.
you
No, I'm
want to know
sad.
how the coronavirus doesn't happen? You don't eat bats. Maybe don't eat bats, and maybe have good hygiene, and then we'll be fine.
This sounds like the
Yeah.
end of the show. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, because I mean,
Thank you.
yeah, wash your hands after everything. Look, it's funny because we were able to survive all these diseases and viruses and stuff, and then somebody had to eat a bat, and that caused the world to shut down for a few weeks or a few months. I don't get.
I can get this going even more. Hey, Matt, how do you feel about sports?
Fuck you. I'm sad, man. Okay. You know what I'm going to do after this? I'm going to go back on the PlayStation. I'm going to turn Madden on. I'm going to cry myself to sleep while I watch, whatever game the computer's playing.
Guys, I'm
Look,
Or
literally.
maybe I'll do basketball.
The Colts are your team?
Yeah.
Now, they weren't coming back with Brissett, were they? They had a different QB in mind. didn't
Yeah,
they?
Phillip Rivers just got signed,
Oh,
which,
that's right.
which now he has a good offensive line, unlike last year where he had the
Yeah.
fourth worst offensive line in the league.
They could win the Super Bowl with Phillip Rivers. I really believe that.
Yeah, because you have probably now with all the Cowboys offensive linemen, either retiring or just getting older. Colts have, I would say, the best offensive line, especially with
AFC 's weak.
Nelson. Huh?
AFC's weak too.
I mean, there's a few
Weaker than it's been.
powerhouse teams, and then I would agree. Like you have the Ravens, you have the Chiefs, and then who knows with the Patriots. I
I'm
kind
going to
of
be the
joke around
quarterback
saying
for
they're
the
gonna.
Patriots this year. They're just holding open auditions or
There you go, Bill
open
Belichick.
tryouts for the quarterback.
Who's gonna be the
Matt-
quarterback for you, Belichick? Is it gonna be Jared Stidham,
I'm going
Brian
to fire
Hoyer,
Belichick
or Nicky?
himself to the team.
Hey, Matt. You just mentioned several teams. Who all did they lose to last year?
Well, Kansas City beat Tennessee. I
Once.
in the AFC
Actually,
Championship.
we did in the AFC Championship, but we did beat them during the regular season. as
Without
well.
Patrick Mahomes, though, there's a difference.
No, Patrick Mahomes did play. That was
He was
his
out.
game back. No, that was his
Okay,
game
that was
back.
his first game back. Well,
But we
Kansas
also
City
beat the
defense is
Ravens.
pretty trash at that point.
Guys,
we also
save
beat the
the
Ravens.
fourth here. God,
Yeah, look,
No, I like
you guys
don't
beat
like
the
it.
Ravens.
Go.
You beat the Ravens, okay, when Lamar Jackson came back after a few weeks, and all you could do is run the ball, because if they were able to stop Henry, we know the Ravens would have destroyed you because you would have had Ryan Tannehill in there, and Ryan Tannehill cannot lead a team to the Super Bowl, and you paid him $118 million. How does that feel, Matt?
You know what? At least we didn't have our quarterback retire 2 games in the preseason.
At least we didn't lose the Super Bowl by a couple inches.
Yeah, I guess I can't argue that one.
It's true.
I guess I can't argue that one.
True. How many times
And
did
it
we
was-
beat the Colts in the last 10 to 15 years, Matt? Over or under 2?
2.
Over, I believe. It was
Over? No.
not by many.
You guys only beat the Colts this past season, and then the other 10 years, you even lost to the Colts when Andrew Luck got hurt that entire year, and they were like 2-6. The Titans
That
were
was
literally
lucky.
the Colts' only wins.
Hey, Matt. At least
Matt?
I'm not watching Madden on.
Look, I gotta be satisfied with sports right now. I can change the outcome too.
You can watch
Have you seen
NASCAR. They're actually racing.
True, I
Have you
could
seen
watch
the
it.
announcers who can't announce sports? So they go out and they announce like everyday stuff. There's a British rugby guy who's announcing like people going to the store and stuff.
I haven't seen that one. I've seen Joe Buck do it though,
Oh, yeah.
where he'll be sent random videos and then he'll do it. The Colts are the only team to have a team kick an onside kick to start second half. That was kind of embarrassing. Yeah, I mean that's true.
Wait a
But
minute.
here's the
Patriots
thing.
in the Super Bowl and won.
Yeah, Patriots played the Eagles and beat the Eagles. And I would argue that Eagles team was better than the one that won this past season.
I wasn't supposed to.
With Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens. That team should have won multiple Super Bowls, but
I got an
didn't,
Eagles jersey in
unfortunately.
my bedroom.
Huh?
I got an Eagles jersey in my bedroom.
My first thought was the band.
Does Boston hate you?
Yes.
I got a Brady jersey in mine. Should we do this?
I've got a Peyton Manning jersey in there.
Say I
I've got
got
a
a
Tony
Peyton Manning
Romo
jersey
in there.
somewhere.
I got a
It
T.O.
might
Hey,
be upstairs.
Hey, Nikki, tell Paul what happened when you went to see the Patriots play.
Tom Brady. Oh, okay. So I got to set this up. So it's my 17th birthday, and like a week before, my cousin surprises me and he says, "You're going to the game with us. You're tailgating. It's gonna be great. It's your birthday." I've been to like preseason games before. He always lets me go to the preseason games and basically any game I'd want to go to if I asked him.
Because Tom Brady's not playing.
Opening day fell on my birthday that year. So we went to the stadium. I did not put sunscreen on, which was a mistake. And we're in the stadium, and it's the opening drive. And Tom Brady's back to pass. He throws it. He gets hit, and he tears his ACL. So I was not allowed to go to Patriots games since then because they were afraid that Tom Brady was going to tear his ACL again since he tore his ACL on my birthday. But now that Tom Brady isn't playing for the Patriots anymore, I get to go back to Gillette Stadium. So hopefully if the NFL season starts ever, I can go to a Patriots game.
Right.
And not have to be shamed for the guy that broke Tom Brady that year after they went undefeated.
Look, if the Patriots play against Tampa Bay next year or whenever, I guarantee you're going to be dragged to that game.
Oh, I would love to. I'm going to call my cousin Jimmy like tomorrow and see if I can go to that game just so because he's always been a Patriots fan. I'm not really sure where his loyalties lie now because Patriots ownership kind of screwed him when it comes to his season tickets. He used to have ninth row. And it was ninth row where they had the seats that came up to put a stage in for my concerts. So one season, Robert Kraft decided that we're just not going to do that anymore. We're going to get rid of those seats permanently so that we don't have to fold them up. So now his seats are on the 50-yard line.
Oh, 50-yard line's not bad.
But it used to be ninth row, and the whoever was running towards the end zone. And it used to be like a much different experience, but now since it's on the 50-yard line, it's like,
right.
It's just like you're watching. Yeah.
This is my Gillette Stadium experience. That's me.
Oh, really? Nice.
In the Brady jersey. My friend Corrado, who lives in Rhode Island.
Did you get the chicken fingers?
This is the coldest experience I've ever had in my life.
Oh, wow.
Like,
so
I had I had the hand warmers in my hands and in my shoes.
Yeah.
And it was brutal.
I went to one of those rallies before.
I did see them knock the Titans out of the playoffs that year, though, 2018.
It was 2007. I went to the rally before the Super Bowl. So they tell us that it starts at 10. We're there at 10. And for 2 hours, they're just showing the AFC Championship on the Jumbotron. And then they come out. The Patriots come out. Giselle's there. She has her little hat. She's like, and then Tom Brady says 2 words. And then they're just gone. Like, we're there for 2 hours. They're out for 5 minutes. And then they're gone. only redeeming part of that day, it was a blizzard. It was snowing, like 10 degrees out. Only redeeming part of that day was Junior Seau gave a great speech. And like Junior Seau, it's one of those things that like I hated what happened to him because he was just such a great guy and he actually like cared about the people that went out for him. Like 3 years before that, though, it was the 2004 Super Bowl. They had one of those Super Bowl rallies. It wasn't in the stadium that time. That time was awesome because like Corey Dillon came out in like this white suit. It was really cool. But yeah, so I got a lot of like memories at Gillette Stadium. So hoping to go back there now that the curse has been lifted.
Mr. Sanders, how do you feel about postponing your campaign?
Oh,
So
you want
we're-
you want me
I
to
can't-
get into it? Was it me or Nikki that did it?
It's
Matt
you.
Sanders.
All right, here we go.
Healthcare.
Oh, can you ask the? Oh, can you ask the question again?
Okay. So, Mr. Sanders, will you take a drink and get prepared? Why
Yes.
did you postpone your campaign?
Well, you see, everybody kept voting for a guy who snaked people's hair, and we have to defeat the president, Donald Trump, because we're Democrats, and we must beat Republicans, even though they're pretty much the same person.
Okay.
It's pretty bad right now.
Those are great Obama.
We need healthcare. I'm the real Bernie. You're the fake Bernie. We need healthcare. These people don't have healthcare. They don't have respirators. They're dying from coronavirus. I have to spend my campaign because I'm 75 years old. I'm at risk. I'm going to die from the coronavirus. I don't have healthcare. You don't have healthcare. We all need healthcare. Paul Preston, what do you think about healthcare?
Well, listen, my wife fought hard to bring health care to all Americans. I look good doing it.
He's never got the face.
Now you got what you got. That's
I'm
I like
sorry.
that Tulsi Gabbard.
Mr. President, did you have?
Bill Clinton, how do you feel? We're charging this together. Can I be a running mate for a third term, or are you going to pick Hillary?
Hey, if I don't pick Hillary, I don't get to go to bed that night. I like sleeping in my house.
Are you suggesting that you and Hillary have been sleeping in the same bed the last 30 years? I don't believe it.
Well, like, you either believe me or believe my press releases.
I believe anything I hear from you. You're Bill Clinton. You're the best president of our generation, and we will never see another because America is going to end because we don't have health care. We have the coronavirus. It's over.
That's right.
Listen.
Yeah, and Bernie, I'll tell you right now, 100% of my balls are going to be in my wife's mouth tonight. Good night.
Balls are going to be in somebody's mouth. Monica Lewinsky on the floor.
100%
I love how Nikki brought up Monica Lewinsky.
Balls, ladies and gentlemen.
99%.
Our children, they need education. They need health care. Bill Clinton, Bernie Sanders, we're going to start a new country in space.
It pains me to say this. Our president is a racist. I never tried that. Never tried that before. I just wanted to try a little Bernie. Everyone's Bernieing. I want the Bernie. Maddie G, you got a Bernie in you?
Nope. That is a hard no for me.
Back again, and another thing, because Marilyn Monroe
Oh, God.
died in my arms, and the Secret Service covered it up.
Sure.
And
I was there when you were president. Sure as I was there when the last 20 presidents were president. Sure as I'm Bob Dole. I got nothing.
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole.
Every time I hear Bob Dole, I think of the episode of The Simpsons.
No, that was Bernie again. Shit.
I don't know. Matt does a pretty good Elmo when he wants to.
Oh, I can't. You can, not me.
Mm-mm.
I cannot do Elmo.
Elmo
I
is
really
pretty
can't.
close to
Yeah, you
Jaja.
mix me with Nikki.
Is this what the show is? 2 hours in? You just, whatever the fuck you think? Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
Whatever
much.
comes to mind.
Basically.
Debating that. I think. Hey, I have a question. Why do you call it the TMG Entertainment? Because I'm TMG, the movie guys, and so what is your TMG stand for?
So the channel used to just be called
Challenge.
That Movie Guy, and then I didn't want it to be that anymore because it was just me doing reviews. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just do other things, and I just combined the three and said TMG Entertainment.
Oh, you were the movie guy for a while?
Yeah, or
cool.
That Movie Guy. Yeah.
That movie guy.
Yeah, didn't work out for me, so I changed it.
It's the movie group now, right?
Time to collaborate. Right?
Yeah, we can go with that, Nikki.
Movie group? That's not bad.
Yeah, there, yeah,
Let's steal your thunder.
that's what it's always stand for. The movie group.
Oh, look at this.
Thigh Master Gangsta. That's what it stands for.
Where are you if you're not in Hollywood, Nikki?
We're in the Boston area.
Oh, that's right.
We're not in Boston.
Hat and the shirt.
We're Beantown.
Right.
I try very hard to conceal my accent.
Try harder.
Years experience. After I saw The Departed, it was impossible to walk outside without adding an A to an R. I don't understand.
Before then, it was Mystic River and back to Good
Mystic
Will Hunting.
River. You know, Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck was my childhood best friend. That's not true, but I tell people. I saw him the other day. He had a Red Sox hat on. He had a coronavirus mask on. I'm like, hey, Ben. Hey, you're Batman. Yeah, Batman.
And then Ben turned around and did this.
All right.
Yeah, and then I went to Jennifer Gardner's house and I said, hey.
I want to do a top 10 of 2020 because that might be it for movies in 2020.
Bad Boys 5 would win Best Picture.
I don't know. I think you mentioned Affleck. It might be the way back. That movie was outstanding.
Yeah,
I
it was
watched
great.
it.
It was.
Excellent.
You can pay $20 tonight, Nikki, and watch The Way
I
Back.
have it, but I didn't watch it yet.
That's
Like
it.
I like have it like on the thing, and I could order it.
You know the thing?
The thing, yeah, the Roku thing.
I mean, who knows how long this thing's gonna last? So there's plenty of time to watch it.
We're like I said earlier, guys, about everything. Where the hell is the zombies?
I
Yeah.
wanted it to be a lot more violent than it is. I have my swords, my armor. I'm ready.
Worst
Let's go.
apocalypse ever.
Literally, give me that.
Because
Is that what's going on now?
sure, but you know, it kind of that thought comes to me. But you know, I want to ask about Duff Beer. Do you?
Hurry up.
Yeah, what? Look, blam, bam, Duff Beer.
Yeah, that photo is from the opening of Springfield at Universal Studios, Hollywood. You know, they opened a whole area of the park next to the Simpsons ride as Springfield. Where They opened up a Lard Lad Donuts, Phineas Q Butterfats Ice Cream Parlor, Moe's Tavern, and a Quickie Mart. And they when they opened it, they brought up Al Jean, who's been behind the Simpsons for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they brought up Larry Kurzweil, who was the head of Universal at the time, and Nancy Cartwright, who does the voice of
Damn near everybody.
she's Bart, right? Yeah, and it's
Bart.
Yeardley Smith is Lisa. Am I right about that?
Correct.
And then I was the host. I played the head of just a fake made up character, the head of the nuclear power plant, sending reasonably clean energy throughout all of Springfield. And so I got to introduce Al Jean, which was fun, and do the whole press event, opening it up. And we had a nuclear reactor meltdown and then fireworks, and all the characters came out. And it was fun. Yeah, so I was going to.
Very cool.
I had definitely had to pose with that can of Duff in my suit, you know.
Right.
I found that picture on your profile and I was like, I love this picture. We have to use this one because it just, if you look at it, it looks like you should be like Duff Man.
The mayor of Duffland.
Duffman says, "Watch after dark."
Hillary Duff's father.
He just says things. One of the inspirations for Adam and I to make this Star Wars as a sporting event audio track was Brockmire. Do you watch Brockmire on IFC?
I do.
Hank Azaria. It plays if you haven't seen it, a baseball announcer who has a meltdown because his wife cheated on him, and he gets fired.
Oh God!
Got to 10 years later, and he's trying to make a comeback in the minors. And I remember a couple of years ago, he was on Howard Stern, which I'm an avid listener of Stern.
Right.
And he said he was plugging the show, and I always wanted to see it since he plugged it because he made it sound so interesting. And now I'm finally watching it on Hulu, and it's trashy, but it's really fun. And it's Hank's voice that's great. He said, "Imagine the baseball guy who talks like this. He's just a bit outside, and it's a beautiful day here down at the. What if that guy talked like that all the time?" And that's kind of that mixed with like the small town he's in being super trashy and him trying to make a comeback. The team in the town is called the Frackers. It's that kind of weird jokes that the show is filled with. So, yeah. And we thought, what if we Brockmire the entire Star Wars show? So, it's become a verb now. But, yeah.
Oh, that's great. I'm looking forward to that because I'll just put Star Wars on and mute it and just play that.
Yeah, you might want to keep it on a low level, but put us up so you don't.
There you go, guys. When he releases it, that's what we'll do. We'll do our watch along with Paul's overboy. We'll just because Matt and I were talking about it. Not this coming Sunday, but the Sunday after. He wants to do a charity stream, and maybe that's one thing.
Maybe watch along in there.
Yeah, maybe we can do that.
I can't even wrap my head around everyone who did the charity streams for Karen and myself when she was sick. Were you guys involved in that?
We were trying to.
Yeah.
It was kind of one of those
6 people, I guess, who jumped on a reactors summit and were raising money for us, and I just was amazed by that because I don't know any of these people, and that's the community, though. I don't know them, they don't know me, but we all love this one thing, so they wanted to raise money for us, and I was always just impressed by that.
Yeah, that was definitely very cool. Because I don't say this out loud, but Karen started coming out about her being sick right about the time that it was coming out that Caleb was getting sick. So it was definitely strong showing of the community itself, because they took your family and mine and just kind of built them up.
Right.
Yeah, I remember seeing it at the Spectacular and meeting the kid, and everybody gave him some love.
Yeah, everything he has is plastered around the room.
Nice.
Like he went to Snyder's yard sale, and Snyder gave him a small, it's almost like a Happy Meal toy from Wreck-It Ralph that he autographed, that he put on his pop shelf. So,
and Mark told me before the draft, we're going to take a second and do, a moment of silence for Karen. And I said, that's great. I didn't plan on hitting the stage until, the applause, the moment of silence turned into applause, and it just was like, I got to say something. So I grabbed the mic and said what I was feeling at the time, and it stands true today. Karen loved what she loved super hard. She loved Bill Murray. She loved dogs. She loved, Colin Firth. She loved Hugh Grant. She loved all these things. And that's it. It was easy to shop for. She loved the things she loved unapologetically, unequivocally, and with all her heart, and that's it. And I just compared that to the Schmoedown fans. You guys just love this stuff, and it is not to be, denied or downplayed. It's extraordinary, and it's a good. That's why when Titan Trivia says, it's good to see you back doing your thing, even though you've had this tragedy. It's like, well, that's because we all love this thing. And what better group of people to surround myself with than like-minded people like that? I could go hang out with a bunch of angry actors or something, but and I do, and I don't stay long. Whoa, what happened?
Yeah, Matt wanted to leave that message on there. So
craps out.
Yeah.
So we're stuck like this now. Bye.
So I'm going to count the amount of yards Tennessee was short for winning the Super Bowl, since he wanted to leave that Nice little message Jacob wrote a while ago.
How can the guy who's running the show leave the show and we're all still here?
Right.
His internet can't run the show and record webcam at the same time sometimes because it's like a
There he
shared
is.
internet or something.
Sorry, stupid cat. Cat stepped on the back of the computer and closed the.
Oh, it's the
shit.
cat's fault.
Maddie,
Yeah,
I was
I was blaming the
very
internet.
emotional monologue.
And you just left.
Yeah, I know. I'm a prick.
Loves to, I'm out of here.
Emotional shit. Fuck you guys.
Yes.
No, but Spectacular was really special. Like,
It was.
Caleb's still waiting for his can of energy drink. He told me that I'm supposed to inform you of that.
Oh, the Uva balls.
Yes, he's waiting for his Hoover balls.
I'll send you an Uva balls. Private message me your address.
Okay. Yeah, because he thought that was hysterical. Like, he kept trying to steal the one from Adam off the table.
He could, it's basically a Red Bull with an Uva ball sticker on it.
He probably would still have been on a shelf today.
Yeah, but no, we'll send one. Sure, if you don't mind your kid having a giant robot with a huge red penis missile out of his end of it.
I the other day I caught him watching South Park. So I mean, and it was a Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls episode. So I mean,
At least it was South Park.
We brought this stuff up on another podcast last week or a week and a half ago. That we had all sorts of different Easter eggs and stuff in that Spectacular fan fest that a lot of people I don't think knew or took part in, which was unfortunate. Like you said, you enjoyed the fact that we were signing other Schmodown people's photos and handing those off, and drawing boogers on Brendan Meyer or whatever. But we were handing out John Roca's phone number.
Yeah, I have that.
Did you call
Well
him?
deserved.
Oh no, I actually.
Everybody called him. And
The kid thought about it, and I'm like, dude. Oh well, maybe that's something we'll have to do on our stream. We'll have Caleb call John Roca.
He calls me.
Hang on. So this is what you missed.
Hi. You reached the personal cell phone of John Roca, the outlaw of the Schmodown. This is the number that is supposed to be for personal and professional use. So I'm recording this voicemail in response to something a couple of fools did that are part of the Schmodown. These guys, I've never heard of them. They're called the Movie Guys. Real original name, these two dudes. But they have nothing better to do than harass your beloved two-time singles and team champion by giving out my number at the first fan expo, which
Did he have to change his number?
and I couldn't even attend because of my bronchitis. Damn it. Well, leave a message now if you want to. I don't know if I'll even listen to it, but leave a message now because I'll be changing the number this afternoon as soon as I can get in touch with my cell phone guy. All right, this is the Outlaw signing out. 5 Horsemen, all the belts, all the records. Your current tag team champion. Out.
In retrospect, he should have been there. It's just bronchitis. It's not like it's the coronavirus or anything.
He was there. That was probably the worst kept secret of Spectacular.
The expo part, though. I meant
No, the fact that Roca was going to be there. It was pretty much a given.
It was high drama. Right.
I mean, it was funny though. Like, you could tell that they're trying not to say something. Like, wait, I heard Dan get asked, so is John gonna be here? And he's like, no. And you could hear he's lying, but trying not to admit it.
Right. No, I wish I didn't have my Florida trip when the Spectacular was happening because I would have went, but I already had everything booked.
That was something else, man. I mean, I wasn't used to.
We got lost in LA
treatment for this, weird league that we do. It was very cool.
We got lost in LA.
Oh. I did the first time I went.
Wait, where are you, Maddie?
I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
Gotcha.
He lives inside Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix lives inside me. Let's get that shit straight.
That's creepy.
Is that why I
It
had that
is.
speech about the cows and whatnot?
Oh no. Well, it's
God,
okay.
here we
Darian
go.
going away after the coronavirus, so he'll be happy.
See that picture of the lady who got a cart full of milk?
It's gonna expire before you drink it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have milk that has
Stupidest
like a
thing ever.
longer shelf life, like that Chinese milk that they have.
Mhm.
Like it has some sort of preservative or something. It lasts longer. It doesn't taste as good, but it lasts longer, I guess. It's good with cereal, I guess. I've had it. It's fine.
That was
Fine.
fast.
It's fine.
Fascinating.
We are 2 hours and 15 minutes into the show.
That's what we got now.
Got that Chinese milk? Yeah.
We're 16 minutes into hour 3. We're talking about Chinese milk that
Hour
has a longer
3.
shelf life than regular milk.
Hour 3. Whoa, that's a new one on me.
We're in hour 3, so it's 2:17.
We're not even in hour.
That's what I'm saying. We are in the
Nikki's
third
losing his
hour.
mind.
That is.
You're not
It's-
rationalizing the numbers.
We're 15 minutes into the second hour.
We're
Yeah.
no, we're 15 minutes into the third
Thank
hour.
you.
We've been on for 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's the third hour.
Ah, but you said 17. It's 15.
Point is, you're wrong, Nikki.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
I'm right. I'm the
This
hey,
is about the time we start bagging on Nikki.
I'm the captain.
Yeah, first captain I've seen.
No, you're the ensign.
It's the captain. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean shit. You could have gone and bought them from the store.
I give orders to
It
you.
does not.
It
Now
does.
the show's just become a. Now the show's just become a Zoom that people can watch.
Yes.
Oh, gee, what?
And this is what I have to say to that. He's not the captain.
Look
I
at
am
you.
the captain. I had
Look at
LaForge beat me
I'm
out.
the
or
captain
Chief
now.
O'Brien. They beat me out and they beat me right back. Watch, it'll happen again.
Don't do
That's
that.
what he thinks.
Too much of a close up for.
Or it won't. The captain decides.
Well,
Just
Also, that's
imagine
what
Captain
he's
Picard
saying.
with, like an upside down com badge. Engage!
Yeah, remember, it's my name that comes after the show.
No, you're right. You're the boss. But you know,
I'm sitting here looking for something, so
I'm sitting here in
Goddamn
a
right.
Star Trek costume that isn't even like part of the main show. It's
I'm
just a
actually
flash.
looking for something. So if you guys keep talking, that's
I'm hungry.
I didn't know you were looking for something originally. I
hungry.
was kind of looking up at you like, or this way, right? Yeah, this way. I was looking up at you.
it's
I
a
was like,
flat weight. Yeah, I'm going through my pictures.
Oh,
and the show.
No, I'm looking for something through my pictures.
I think he has something specific.
So,
do
I
not
just
pull up
don't
that
know
dick.
what to
Please do not pull that out.
Okay.
We don't need to see that. It's Easter Sunday officially. We don't need to see that dick, Matt. Please don't pull that.
Yeah, I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm not.
That dick.
I'm
Good.
not.
Yeah. It's
No.
to kind of give you a visual. Well, to give you an idea of
No,
what it is.
it's-
Just think of
fuck it.
Batman.
2 hours.
No.
2 hours and 18 minutes in. What was Chandler doing on the show? Was he gone? Did he hang out till now, or did he?
I think we ended around the 2-hour mark. But I think Nikki was hurting at the time. I think it was about 2 hours. It might have been a little less.
Sorry, I
can't
just
remember.
stretched.
I just feel like the show aspect has left us a while ago. Now
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's as if the show ended, but we're just talking. But
Yeah, it's just
you still see it.
right. Yeah, it's just hanging out at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt's gone.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
froze. The guy who runs the
Oh,
show
wow.
couldn't stop the show if he wanted to.
Damn
Or
it,
if
Sam.
everybody wanted him to stop the show, he couldn't stop. And now this again, where it's too
Right.
lean back. So.
Can we end the show without him? Is that possible? Oh no,
I
he's
don't
back.
think- I
No.
don't think we can.
No. So then, Paul, sign off.
Huh?
Wait, what?
Is that what you said? Wait, somebody
I
said
think-
Paul's only goal for the show is to last longer than Chandru. I can last longer than Chandru. You heard it here, ladies.
That's what she said.
There you go.
What is better, Taekwondo or
That's what she said, Devin.
So, do you got that picture, Matt?
There's an easy way to make sure that you last longer than the next
No,
shot.
I couldn't find it.
Hey,
No,
good
okay.
night, everyone.
So yeah.
Gatorade, is
All right.
that
So
your-
since I think Matt wanted to wait until he found the picture and he can't, I think this is going to be the end of the show now.
No, no.
Unless there's anything else he wants to bring up.
He's throwing 2 bottles of Gatorade at me.
Right. There you go. But no, thank you, Paul,
Well,
for
this
coming
is
on
the
the
way.
show. I'm gonna put it on. That's not the Mandalorian mask. You're ruining the tradition. No, I'm kidding.
This isn't coming off until the show's over.
And then we got Groot. All right. Thank you, Paul, for coming and joining us on the show tonight.
My
It was an
pleasure.
honor to have you on. Guess we'll do the roundabouts. Start with you, Paul. Where can people find you at?
Oh, plugs. Well, I'll take this off then. TheMovieGuys.net. That's where Adam and I post our nonsense. And I got a guy named Ray Scalacci who's been writing a lot for the website, so you can see reviews there, things to watch, movies about epidemics, which are fun, and pandemics, and zombies and things to help you relax. So Ray's been writing a lot, which I haven't been, but Adam and I have been working on videos and things, and all of our recent appearances, and this one will be posted to the movieguys.net as well. And promoted on social, that's at the Movie Guys across the board, Movie Guys Twitter and Instagram. I'm too old for TikTok and Twitch and all the other bullshit.
Me
so
too.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
All right. And then Matt, the guy that runs the show, where can people find you at?
You find me at Facebook, Matt Graham. Thursdays, we're going to bring back Suplex City Chats. And next Saturday, we have... Sorry, we're leaving the den. We were with them for the last 2 weeks. Now we're going to move to the Finstock Exchange. So, yeah, next week we have probably the multi-faces of Tom Dagnino, whatever you want to call him, on the show. Yeah. Mandalorians, where can people find you?
You can find me at the drive-thru of the Burger King tomorrow to get my Easter Sunday dinner with my father. You can find me captaining a starship on Star Trek Online. That's Nikki37 on that's my gamer tag. And you can find me at NikkiFlix on YouTube. This is harder to put on than it looks. It's the way. It's the way.
And you can find me at on Instagram at holly.devon, where my fingers are better than my mouth.
All right.
I can also say P Preston LA on Twitter and Instagram as well. To follow my personal nonsense. Burger King's awful, but man, is their Impossible Burger great. I've eaten that like 3 times.
I like the chicken juniors.
Yeah.
Well, Nick's small enough that his Chicken Junior is probably the same size as, the Impossible Whoppers for Paul.
Yeah, the
There you
Impossible.
Very small. I like it.
The Impossible may be my gateway to more Burger King food, but so far I've never been a big Burger King fan. But the Impossible Burger, I've had it.
Deliver for free.
Yeah, really good.
And
Yeah,
then,
but he's in California, so in and out.
yeah, yeah, there's
That's a
tons
thing.
of options
No, there's so
out
many
in
burgers.
California.
It's unfair to my diet.
It's a lot of stuff. Unlike here, where all I have is McDonald's, Burger King, and Pizza Hut. But other than finding me at those places, you can find me on.
Do you have a hut though, or just a delivery and takeout?
A hut.
You have a hut?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't have any more out here. There used to be.
They don't have any huts here either.
The hut's the best with the stained glass lights and the buffet and the.
It's gone. There's none of them.
Yeah, there's one about 20 minutes. Yeah, there's one about 20 minutes from where I'm at.
Yeah, it's one in my hometown too.
There's only one. There's only one 5 minutes from my house, from my apartment.
Yeah, I say it's nice. They go to from time to time. But other than that, find me in those places. You can find me on this channel, TNG Entertainment.
Oops, sorry. About that.
But you can find me on the show. We're going to be starting our NFL show sometime this week. I don't know what day it's going to go up. Whatever day I feel like getting it recorded and put up and all that good stuff. And then not this upcoming Sunday, but the following Sunday, we're going to be having our charity stream. We're going to be raising money just to feed people during all this stuff going on, getting masks to hospitals, all the places that need masks. And I would like to get it for other countries too, not just the U.S., because, you have, team owners, they're donating tons of masks to hospitals here. So I don't really see that outside of the U.S. So I figured why not help some of them out too, as well as some of the ones that aren't getting masks in the U.S. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. And we will not release a Snyder Cut. And thank you all for watching. And we will catch you next time.
Free to say.